Reload this so I can see the chat. There we go. Oh, probably resub.
Oh boy, it's down. It's down below 4-day.
Do you have like a tweet that you tweet out, Kevin? Is it from the...
No, it's all just
No,
Facebook and
it's all just Facebook. Okay.
If you want to tweet about it, go ahead. I need to
Yep.
ask
Okay.
Mr. UA Pang for access to the SBTCG Twitter. But man, he has never given to it.
I'll just add you too.
Come back to send in both languages. Damn, what the fuck is his expectation?
Don't read the message, Carmen.
Well, guess you have to do
What?
it, Carmen.
Where at?
Honestly.
Didn't see it.
Didn't see it, never happened.
I see. That's how that works.
Wish I could max it in both languages. But
You
gotta
can. You got the
choose
money.
one. Gotta do one if I want to buy a house this year.
No, you don't.
If he doesn't call him weak and a coward. True.
True. Who needs a house when you can have Master Lycoris Recoil in both languages?
Hey, homes are temporary, but
Yeah.
waifus are forever.
Yeah. You want to jail, kiddo.
Have they confirmed their age in the anime? They could be
Chisato
18-year-olds.
17, talking to 16, I believe.
They could be 18
And then
year olds
Chisato has a
posing as
birthday.
high school girls.
It happens over the course of 1 year. I know this because Tanner was dragging me the other day.
Yeah. And then you're
I
like, no, episode 8, episode 8,
I had
episode
to
8,
prove
episode
it.
8. She has her birthday. She's legal.
She's legal. She's legal.
All right, I've tweeted. Chilling to wait for people to show up. When do we usually start? A couple minutes.
You would give him 10 minutes,
Yeah.
usually.
5-10 minutes.
This is a normal set, right? It's only 100 cards, so.
Only 100 cards.
Yeah, but this guy put almost every single TD card in there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Okay. Most of the TD cards are relevant. I kept
Yeah,
seeing
hit
them
me
pop up. I
hit me
kept
with
seeing them
that.
pop up. Well,
This
I'm all for cutting out cards, man. When we do set reviews on PGH, we can't cut out nothing. It sucks. So I'm all for cutting cards that won't matter to go over, kind of duplicative profiles and stuff like that. But man, like there are some decent cards in the trial deck. So
Yeah. This man hit me though when I told him to go DMT. He's like, "What? Damn!" He's like, "It's easier for me to just tell her what not to add in the thing." I'm like, "Oh my god, fucking Christ!"
You know, one thing I want to do now that Connor has stopped doing it and I quite lost track is doing one of those what he used to do, like the top 10 cards of each set type of deal. I feel like those are pretty
damn,
Those
Kevin's
are like
English corner, dude.
doing it
Park.
like retrospectively.
good. Yeah. Retrospectively coming back and just talking about like the top 10 cards of each set that we did set review on.
All right, so what are we running it back with?
What are we running back with? Oh, we're running back from the very beginning. Salazation 1 and 2.
Alicization,
Where it leaves off?
1 and 2. Wait, but those things
Where it
are
leaves
those
off.
sets are dog.
Yeah.
But what was the first set we did together? Was it Grisaya? I think it was, right? It was Grisaya 1 or Grisaya 1 or 2? Grisaya 2. Grisaya 2.
I mean, if we do go run it back, we'll probably just start from the beginning of 2022.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Thanks, Chad. Chad remembers.
Grisaya 2. Yeah, we never
Yeah,
did
true.
Grisaya 1.
They are gay.
Yeah.
It's June. We support.
It's June. It is their month. We
Nancy
support by
Versailles
buying
set.
foils.
Pog. I can love
You're not
this
buying
set.
foils yet.
No,
Wait, what?
not
Versailles
till
2
English.
big? I
Unfortunately,
thought Versailles
gotta choose.
2
Gotta choose.
But Versailles 2 is just a regular set size, like just 100 cards.
Was it?
What
Feel like both Versailles sets were normal, right?
Yeah, both
I don't remember if it
Versailles
had more
were
cards, but I remember that set didn't do fucking anything.
Oh, I hope you're ready.
You get
Jason.
one card. Well, two cards. You get an off
We-
finisher.
yeah,
You get a
we're
Ricky.
gonna
You got
have.
no. You got the check 3 add 1 brainstorm.
I hope you're
Oh yeah,
ready.
that's true. That card. That I always forget that card. Just set 2 card. That card's cracked.
Okay, Jason.
In
I
that
hope you're
deck.
ready for Uma and Dengeki Bunko. Both.
Yeah, I
over
know.
140 cards with 2 TDs.
It was 130 cards. Damn, that's really
Uma.
depressing.
Uma.
No,
Uma's 144 and Dengeki Bunko's
No, I know
150.
no, they were saying Versailles has 130 cards. Versailles 2, and I'm like,
Really?
that makes it even more depressing.
Wait.
That's 130 cards. I mean,
130 cards. We only play like 4 of them. In a new
Oh,
set.
that's so depressing.
And some of them are only like 1-ups. It really be like
I
that.
don't want
eh?
to translate 50 cards in a day. Bro, you're gonna be translating way more than 50 Uma cards in a day, guy. They haven't. This shit comes out in 29 days, and we've seen like what 15 cards.
Bro, all the quick
That's
cards
the next
out early.
level, dude. Not
Already.
only do you translate the card on the same day that it's revealed, you code the card on the same day for the sim. That's
You
the
know,
next
I was
level,
thinking
dude.
about that with Pad. When I was doing Pad, I was like, damn, I should have just been doing this like.
Well,
when
then
this
you only
happened
do
out.
like 2 or
Cards
3 a
comes
day,
out.
right? It's actually perfect.
Okay, Jason,
Like,
what's
if
the
it
next
gets to
set
that
you really
point,
care
right?
about? You can do that.
The next set I care about.
Yeah, you can just do just translate cards. Put the card
This
in the
set.
sim as it translates. That's like it's
It's
translated.
probably the
Okay,
best way
well,
to do it. It is
It's like
probably the best way to do it.
Bochi and Uma, realistically, but
Okay, time to learn how to program codes to the cards to the sim for Bochi.
I know how to do the cards. I was doing it for Pad today instead of working.
Got it working? Yeah. Did you get
Yeah.
your? Does it let your irons get clock a dot sheet?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get it working. I said instead
Oh.
of doing like my job.
Oh, instead of working.
Yeah, the CPU is so powerful it can clock kick your eyes.
Yeah, but Shizu's stronger because it can heal from clock to memory.
Were you?
Yeah, Shizu does heal from clock to memory in the sim.
That's pretty broken.
Pretty good.
Oh, we got 16 people today. All right, let's start it
Yeah.
in 1 minute. I
Could be
guess.
something Lycoris is pretty popular or something.
Yeah, people
maybe.
actually care about the set on like Pad.
Yeah, but guess which one's the more meta set?
Once I
Yeah,
come back to
probably
Vancouver, I'll
Pad,
probably start doing
but
Tuesday streams.
Lycoris has some good stuff.
Yeah, Tuesday streams. How about like a day I can stream?
What day is that? You want to do a Monday stream?
Any day that isn't Tuesday.
Well,
Monday,
Mondays.
Wednesday.
Monday streams. I don't.
Monday,
I never
Funday?
have anything planned Mondays.
Me either. I just go to the gym when I gotta work, and
I'm
that's like
just here
before you
for
even do anything.
lesbian John Wick. It is June, my friend.
Oh yeah. All right, we're good to get started. I think.
All right.
Yeah, 16.
What's up, guys? Kevin here from the Strictly Broken TCG team, and today is episode 48 of the best ever Weiss Schwarz set review show featuring Lycoris Recoil. This set has girls, they might like each other, and they
And
shoot
guns.
people, and they have guns.
No. They do like each other. The 2chan schizo.
Yeah, 2chan. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
With me today, we have my usual co-host, Mr. Jason.
Hello, ho.
He wasn't here last time because he's a flaker. And we
Yeah,
have
I had a
our
monthly.
brand new SBTCG member, Mr. SBTCG Beanwolf Carmen. You may know him from PGH Weiss as well.
What's up? What's up? Happy to be here.
Yeah. I mean, PGH Weiss has their own set review show, but they only review English cards. So after this initial review, you might be able to catch out another Lycoris Recoil
Yeah,
show
it'll
from
be
him,
cool.
from his channel a couple months down the line. Because we still don't have a release date for Lycoris Recoil in English, right?
Yeah,
Nope.
at this rate, it's going to be like almost
2020.
after the season's wrapped, like maybe for Worlds at this rate.
I think the
So,
only
who
popular
knows?
choice is like November. Otherwise, it's 2024. Unless you're gonna think Bush Road English are gonna pull like a 2 months pre-order time period.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that being said, shout out to our sponsors: Nova TCG, best place in North America to buy Japanese Weiss Schwarz singles. You can pick up Lycoris Recoil cards shortly during the stream. And then shout out to Weiss Tea Time. They do the slides for us for these shows, and then they also hold all the translation that I've created onto their website, and as well as having decks for like English tournaments and ruling questions. Very good website to check it out. And
Davis
lastly, we'll go over our rating system. As usual, we rate our cards from 1 to 5. 1 stars are cards that are not worth picking up. These are basically what we quote as pack fillers, not worth picking up. 2 stars are cards that are niche or techs. You might play a couple of them, maybe 1 or 2 of them. 3 stars are cards that we're not sure if they are good or if they're gonna fall into the niche category. We consider 3 stars like a testing realm. It could be a 4, it could be a 2. Need some testing. 4 stars are pretty much good cards. These cards will always be something worthwhile picking up. Stuff like Brainstorms, Ricky's, EP Healer, but they're not like crazy good. And 5 stars are your highlight cards. These cards are amazing. These are the cards that will make you want to build a deck around or buy the set in general to begin with. With that being said, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get started.
All right, I'll be reading the cards today because Jason flaked on me last week, and Jason will be doing a little explanation about the cards. We are starting off here with the TD highlights. There's quite a lot of them because Carmen thinks this TD is pretty worth picking up. First, we have this card is pretty good. 0-0 Chisato. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this to an empty front row slot. And when it's sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay 1, clock yourself 1 from top of your deck. And if you do, choose 1 character in your waiting room and add it to hand.
Yes, this is it's a double plus. Kind of like the double R from Kaguya, too, now that it's in English, people are more familiar with it. Except this one always gets to resolve both of its card effects, basically.
Yeah, going first and going second, this card is great. It's good in a dry field scenario because, of course, it pluses on death. And then, if you go first, the card might live, and then might plus you later when you have an even bigger grave. So, really, really solid card.
What would you give it out of 5?
Very simple. I don't know if we can come out swinging with a 5 right out of the gate, but this card is really good. Definitely, it's definitely a 4. Definitely super solid.
Like
a 4 of, yeah. But is it a 5 right out of the gate? So yeah, it's like a 4.5. I'll be safe. I think it's a 4. It's a 4. I could see
if it was a search tricky though.
If it was a search tricky, it'd be a 5. If it was search tricky, it'd be a 5. Straight up. The fact that it's salvage does hold it back a little bit. Makes it better later game though if you really need a card. So yeah, I'll stick with 4.
Okay, I'm good.
Right, next card we have 0-0 Music Key. When it's placed on stage from hand or sent from stage to waiting room, you can pay 1, discard 1. If you do, search your deck for a character, add a hand, and shuffle your deck afterwards. So
we love drop searches on play and on death. I don't know what you want to call that, but
dual timed, double timed,
whatever,
something like that.
That's what it is.
Dual timing is just really strong. This card's like a 3, definitely like a stronger than average tech. I could see this as a 1 of in like most decks, especially because your Chisato that we just saw, your like typical plus that you would pay stock for is grave. So this is like another way you can slap it down if you go first, get a search. Obviously, if you have stock, even better, you get 2 searches out of it. So very, very solid.
Right, sounds good. Next, we got 0-0 Mizuki again. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1 climax and sack 1 of your characters on your stage. And if you do, you can choose a climax in your waiting room and add it to hand.
Yeah, so this is a non-traditional climax swap. I believe Alicization has this as a Lizbeth, right? But it's a level 1, whereas
it's Anime Annie. It's Anime Annie. It's a 1/0 red, yeah.
Yeah, so we like alternately costed climax swappers. They're really cool tools to have, especially if the set also has a regular one.
Yeah, Ari Ferreira is like the first one level 0 on this profile.
Card's 2,500 too. Like, it's like it's even better with like the Chisato runner. It lives. Like if you really just want another card or something like that, it lives into level 1 for some reason, and you just want to get the salvage and you don't have the right climax, like it's even better. Sack off the Chisato, get your plus there, and swap your climax. Really good early, and then later, especially if you're playing more of the expensive finishers like stock-wise, like Takina, you can like flex the card, I think, but you probably don't want to flex the stock. So the fact this is like a stockless way to swap climax, you can get like really greedy, play like weird splits, and play expensive finishers. I like it a lot. It's like a 3.5 with pushing it, but I'm just gonna leave it at a 3 because it's just a stronger than average like filter card.
Yeah, you don't need to have synergy per se. It can always just be used as a way to save stock at late game. Like if your finisher costs 8 stock to triple and you only have 8 stock, you stack up Brainstorm in the back row with this.
Yeah, be able to stack your back row and put this in the back row is nice.
It's hands the easiest resource to randomly get more of.
Well, this is gonna cost more hand, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Like because a lot of times like you're gonna when you try to full combo, you're gonna overplay your climax swapper anyway to do your full combo, right? This just makes it so you can stack a back row and then promote it backwards.
Absolutely. Get that plus from the back row. Stack it off when you're done with it.
This TD is a double climax combo TD, so here's the first one.
Real
We got
TD.
1-0 Chisato. When a climax is placed in your climax area, choose one of your characters. This turn gets plus 1500 power. And a climax combo when a door CX is placed in your climax area, and if this is in your front row and you have 4 less stock, you can just salvage one. Salvage character.
That's a pretty good TD combo. Just on attack salvage and a TD. That's pretty sick.
On placement salvage is BG,
on play,
which makes the it makes the 4 or less stock a little less bad.
Yeah, true.
But it's still just okay. It's like a 2. It's like an okay combo. I could see it being played, but there's a very good other combo. Like if you didn't need the deck speed, like you had other deck speed cards, you were doing something else, and you wanted like a non-interactive plus, this could be fine. But you have a lot of ways to rank stock in this set. You have a lot of ways to like other good like level 1 non-interactive combos. So I think this is just a 2. You have better options, but it does exist, and it's on a good trigger too. So. We love the door.
The only downside of the effect is just later on when you're trying to resolve this combo too, maybe you don't have the condition.
You probably don't need condition, even if you are paying out in main phase, because this is on slam. Getting down to 4 is quite low late in game.
Alright, next we have 3-2 Chisato. When this is placed on stage from hand, reveal the top of your deck. If that card is a character or an event, deal 1 damage, and then when it's taxed, you can send the 1/1 event that we'll talk about later from your memory to the waiting room. If you do, choose one card in your opponent's waiting room and place it on top of their deck.
Oh, that's what this card did. Yeah, see, I saw a couple of us playing this card. This is like a pretty alright card, especially if you're going to play the event. And is this the card that the card later grabs too? It is, right?
I'm not quite sure. I've seen this mostly in the lists that are trying to like amass like a large amount of like stock resources and then like maybe play this card multiple times. This card's really good at chipping, provided you confirm the top check. Hits on anything that's not a climax. You like get a ping, play another one, get a ping on it like on attack if like you're trying to just push a little bit of extra damage, like you top deck something, so it's like swinging for 2 while swinging for 1. Can be pretty good. I like this a lot actually. It's like a 3. Pretty good off finisher.
When confirmed, it is not this event that it grabs. It grabs the 2/2 event in blue.
Okay.
Well, it's cool though.
Give this 2. Alright. Next, we have the 1/1
I give
event
it a
itself.
3. But
You give it 3, my bad.
Yeah, whatever. All good.
It's flashing 3 now. Alright, we're back. Next, we have the 1/1 event. If you do not have a Lycoris Recoil or a weapon character, you cannot play this from hand. And then you can search your deck for up to 1 climax, show it to your opponent at the hand, and shuffle your deck afterwards, and then send this to memory.
Climax searcher, nice and easy.
Yep. Very good. You can have a Fuka Zero to grab this off of. Other like ways to grab it. You have like Event Rize, things of that nature. So even better. It's like does glow sticks go to memory, or is this like a? I can't remember if glow sticks went to memory.
No, the DBG one went to memory.
Yeah, this is like the DBG version that goes to memory. So, definitely good event. I'm a fan, but not sure if it sees play. It's definitely like a 2 then by the scale because it's like pretty niche tech. but it's definitely solid.
But it does enable the level 3 you saw earlier, which is not
Yep.
bad.
Yep.
Makes it a better payoff than the generic ones. Alright, next we have 00 Takina. When your other Lycoris or Recoil or weapon character is sent from stage to waiting room, if it's in your back row, you can sack this. If you return that character onto the stage and its former slot rested, so it's a field encore. And it's also a pay 1, tap out, check 5, brainstorm, draw brainstorm.
Yeah, it's a Pina. It's pretty cool. Pina on a brainstorm. That's like usually it's just power pump, right? I don't think we've seen too many Pinas with like other effects. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the fact that it like can be parked in your back row as a brainstorm, and like the 5-card draw brainstorms, especially on first deck, to get a little bit of extra deck speed. I saw this card like keep popping up in like Japanese like first test like smoke testing lists. So I wanted to include it. Like I think it's like a decent strategy with the choice. Like 3-2, where like that card, like you have to invest a lot into it, and if it gets like reversed or like getting thrown off the board, that like kind of sucks. This is just like another way to save it, as well as, you know, draw into extra climaxes to keep neg soling. So pretty decent card, but it's like a 2. But it does have the potential to be very strong.
Alright, next
Good.
we have the SP for the TD. Well, the second SP after the runner. We got the 10 Takina. When it's placed on stage
It's
of
not an
hand.
SP, it's a stamp.
I mean, it's rarity is considered SP.
Here's the SP rarity.
Yeah, when this is placed on stage from hand, this turn just gets plus X power. Execute the number of your characters times 500. So you have a full board. She's 6/5. And when it's attacks, if the level of the character crosses is 2 or higher, this turn it gets plus 6k. So from the 2k and the 2/5 power plus 6k power, this swings at 12/5 against level 2s.
Wow. Anti-level 2 Shimakai. If only it wasn't.
It's not Shimkai.
10K.
It's Drop Assassin.
Oh, drop assassin. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't listen very well.
It's like
So how big do you
fine.
get?
It's
12/5.
It's 12/5.
12/5.
It's one
That's just
better.
not big enough.
Wait,
Nope.
but most
It is the SP for
Wait.
the set, but
that's the power of all level 2
Nope.
beaters can
Not
max
big
that.
enough. Yeah, exactly. Not big enough.
yeah, that's the
Alright.
problem. It's the problem with level 2 killers. But thankfully, you know, as Kevin kept telling me today multiple times, in 10 days that will not matter, and you might not need to run this card at all.
Yeah, and this card sucks.
But
If your
this card
Loki's
is
only
not good,
Japanese.
even with Alice being around. So yeah, it's unfortunately it's a 1, but it is the SP. So wanted to cover it.
I'm not a believer in the level 2 beater trap.
Nope, not unless you can run 4 of them and do something else in your back row. Not worth.
Wait, this is a set that can do that though.
It can, but then that card needs to get a reverse.
What
It's not big enough.
Alright, next we got 3-2 Takina and Shisato, a dual card. Look at them holding their arms together like that. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1. If you do, heal the stock. And then when it attacks, if you have the Panis CX in your climax tier, you can pay 2, burn 2.
So long as you have damage down, it's like a pay 1 ditch 1, which makes it pretty okay on a good trigger, efficient but low impact finisher with the heal to stock. So
7
the
something
consideration for like maybe like a budget build or like something else, but I think it's like a totally reasonable combo. Just not up to spec with like the insane crap that goes on in JP right now, as Jason showed me earlier today.
Oh yeah, I love Pat.
Yeah, Puzzle and Dragon. So yeah, it's unfortunately it's just like a 2, but
Yeah.
better than good for a trial deck, that's for sure. If you're just looking to jump into the game, grab a TD. This is looking really good.
Some people are looking into playing this just because there are 8 pan support in this set.
Yep, there is a pan support. Yeah,
So it's like a good, like a easy way to upgrade your TDs. Right. Last TD card, I believe. I hope. We got
Yep.
3-2 Takina. When it's placed on stage from hand, look at the top X cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them, add it to hand, send the rest to the main room. Execute the number of your characters. And then when it attacks, you can discard 2. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent.
one of the only
These are
check
the
X's.
check X. Oh, okay. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask. Is this the only checkers?
Yeah, it's one of the only check X's in the set. If it is one of the only on play cantrips at all. And then on attack ditch 2 burn 1 makes it a lot better. Makes it feel not as bad as just being like the check X you play down. That's just a 2 soul beater. It does like something else relevant on your finisher turn. So a little better than average, but still a 2. If you need the checkex, it's here. A little bit better than average, but still you try to avoid that if you can.
He's like a poopy target, so yeah, I would not. I mean, it is a standby target, but not too big of a one.
Yeah, there's some like other pretty decent standby targets.
All right, Carmen didn't tell me to exclude this one, so I can assume there's some.
I did not.
Somewhere here, right? Right.
It's just a 2-soul.
It's just a
It's
2
just a
soul.
2-soul.
Look at
but
them.
2-souls are dank. Give it a 6. 6
right.
stars.
6 stars.
6 stars for 2-soul.
Okay. All right, that's it for the TDs.
Tags.
We're gonna go straight into yellow here.
Whoop.
Starting up first, we have this double rare 0/0 Mizuki. When it's placed on stage from hand, choose one of your opponent's front row characters. This turn gets -1 key power. And when it's sent from stage to waiting room, you can discard 1. If you do, check top 4, add a level 1 or higher card from among them, show it to opponent, add the hand, and send the rest to waiting room. Often known as a Fuka.
-1k and a Fuka, that's so strong.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Love this character. Love this card. Pretty easy of if you got the slots. Good fix for yellow. Yellow's like a really easy splash color because of this, and the card that I believe we're just going to look at next, I believe that's also a double rare. -1k, pretty cool. Especially like when this comes to English down the line. If anyone wants to keep trying to play the memory decks, you just like poop on them with cards like this. We keep seeing with Alice. It's super annoying for those kinds of decks. So the effect is always really cool. And there's another card that gives -1k power, like the level 0, that you'd probably want to play. So like you can very easily be firing off like -1k, -2k, -3k, just like kill something. So I'm a big fan.
As a Psychonal player, no, please don't.
What do we give like cards like this here now? Like
You
a
can just
Fuka,
get,
like
a 4.
just like a
If
4?
you give it
Yeah,
a
I was gonna
4.
say it's like super solid card. Yeah, I give this a 4.
All right. She has +1 because she's holding beer, right?
Yeah, chat knows. Carmen would love this girl. Abso-fucking-lutely. I love Mizuki.
All right, not holding a beer because she's underage. We got 0/0 Kurumi. When a climax is placed in your climax area, look at top 2 cards of your opponent's deck, place it back on top of it in any order. And act Brainstorm taps out salvage Brainstorm, but he's salvaged for trait. But luckily, this entire set is on the right trait.
Like a Reco weapon. Woo! Fake traits.
Yep, everything hits on that trait. This Brainstorm's pretty good.
Yeah, you need it for the
that,
top end, dude.
Yeah, that effect is really good with the top end. It's also just really nasty throughout the game. Like you have a chump lane down, you're slamming a climax, you like see a climax on the top 2 of your opponent's deck, you move it up your side because like you're not dealing damage anyway. You keep like your fog lane if you wanted it. Really like easily finessable effect. And then salvage. Always love salvage Brainstorm. I'm a search Brainstorm hater. I'm salvage all the way. So yeah, easy 4, strong card.
Search Brainstorms ain't it. Move it up. Move it up. Huh?
What?
Okay. Whatever. Someone in chat said move it up. I don't know what they refer to. All right, next we got 3/2 Chisato and Takina. If you have 2 more Lycoris Recoil or a weapon character, this gets +3k, so it's 11/5. When it's placed on stage of hand, you can heal 1. And at the start of this card's attack, if you have the choice CX in your climax area and you have... Oh, at the end of this card's attack, my bad. If you have the choice CX in your climax area and you have 2 more other characters, you can pay 2 if you do. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets +2k. And the following ability, the character crosses gets -3 soul, and you can early play this. So what's total power? It's just 13/5 basically. On your opponent's turn.
Yeah, it's really expensive. The way to early play this is also expensive, but it is -3 soul.
It is -3 soul. You can like really stop your opponent in their tracks with this if you're able to resolve multiple. But like Kevin just said, you guys are saying it's so expensive. How do you resolve multiple of this? And when stuff like Adachi exists, man, I don't know. I paid like a total of 5 stock to get this card out on the board and get this effect off, because the way you early play it is with a 2/1. If I had to hard play the 2/1 to the board, that's another stock, so it's actually 6. stock to get 1 lane of this effect on the first turn you play it, and my opponent could just pay 1 and put their little Adachi up there and just go front for 0, and then the card disappears. Man, that super feels bad. I hope that like we figure out a way to make this more viable, because 3 soul hexproof, because the support also gives it hexproof as well with a heal. That's like neg soul wet dream stuff, but like, man, it's way too expensive. For now, I'm just gonna give it a 2. I'm not a believer, even with the other ways to spawn this out with like the shuffle back, which we'll talk about when we get to red. I'm just not a fan. It's too expensive.
All right, next we got 0 Takina. When his card's reversed, if the card's battle point is level 0 or lower, you can stock bomb it. And when this is reversed in battle, you can send this to clock. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck if it's a Lycoris Recoil or weapon character at the hand or the 1-0 event. You can also add the hand. The poop event.
Yeah. This card pretty like okay, I guess. It's a stock bomb. This is needed for something else needed this too, right? I think.
I'm not sure.
Oh no. This is just the funny synergy with the Chisato back row in red. That's what it was.
Yeah, because this card sends itself to the clock, you could pay 1 and heal it off. So it becomes a pay 1 plus.
Probably not very good actually though. There's so many other Rickies you could be playing, but it's not bad. Definitely for like a clock bomb, it's like a costless like plus basically, right?
Yeah, it's like
or stock bomb? Stock bomb, not clock bomb.
It is like a coin flip weirdly for a plus, which kind of sucks. But I guess like at the timing, like right, if it's reversed, you either crash it and you have another lane, so it's a climax. Hopefully that's a plusing trigger, and it doesn't feel too bad. You did just clock yourself for nothing, and then on your opponent's turn you reveal a climax. You at least only took 1 damage, it didn't come from the top of your deck, and then you cancel. But that's still like really awkward timing. I unfortunately, I think this, even though it is a 500 power zone bomb that might plus, I think this is a 1. I don't like this at all. Not a fan.
No, if you want a plus, just play the TD runner.
Yeah.
All right, next we have 0 Chisato. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard a character. If you do, draw 1 card, and when it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard a climax. If you do, salvage character from waiting room.
I like these like double hand filter cards. They're very cool.
Me too. It's like very reminiscent of like the TD Rimuru from Slime. A little bit of a worse filter on the first effect, but still a double filter on 1 card on a stick is really strong. And then being yellow as well, like another easy splash yellow for stuff like stock swap and whatnot. Very good. Another easy 4. We like double filter.
Nice.
4-man Shenlong, true.
Or next, we have 1-0 Chisato. During your turn, this gets plus 3k power, so it's 6k on your turn. And with attacks, you can pay 1 if you do Twin Drive. Pretty generic.
Yeah, it's a twin driver. Not bad though. I like when sets have these because like sometimes I look for them and the set doesn't have them, and then I'm sad.
Yeah, if you want to trigger more climaxes, I know Rintaro just posted a list that's really funny that just tries to trigger as many doors as possible. You choose violence and you tell your opponent that they will refresh their deck more times than they want to, which is pretty funny. I'm definitely gonna give that a try. But you know, it's just a twin driver. It is nice that they have it though. But you know, just a niche like sort of thing. Pretty normal card. It's like a 2.
1-0 Takina. This card has a soul trigger, by the way. And then during your turn, for each other characters, this gets plus 1k power. So full board, she is 7k on your turn. And then while climax combo experience, while you have this, you have the choice CX in your climax area, and this is in your front row, and you have a 3-2 Chisato Talking that we saw earlier in your level zone, and you have another Lycoris Recoil or weapon characters. All your other 0-0 Mizuki we saw earlier, 0-0 Kurumi we saw earlier, 1-0 Chisato we just saw, and a 0-0 Mika that we're gonna see later in any area against choice triggers. So you basically have you basically play what was it?
It's the Tokyo Avengers shit, but you don't have to fucking
6 times 4 is 24. Yeah, 24 choice trigger deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. It's
Very
funny.
funny.
It's funny. This does have a soul trigger that helps a little
Of course
bit,
it does.
but if you notice,
35 soul
every
trigger like Recoil.
every card in the the package that gains choice trigger also doesn't have a soul trigger. So you're filling these cards in your deck that don't have soul trigger, and then you end up being a more normal soul trigger count deck because choice also doesn't have a soul trigger. So I think it's funny. I think if you want to build like a Reco like maid cafe kind of thing going on, where like you have all the characters that are in the cafe, and you serve your opponent coffee or something, it'll be pretty funny. But I don't think it's very good. I think this is a 1.
True.
Smooch. Alright, next we have 1-0 Mizuki. It's a 500 assist. And when you enter a Lycoris Recoil or weapon character is sent from station waiting room, if this is in your back row, you can sack this to save the character. And when it's sent from station waiting room, you can pay 1, discard 1. If you do, choose a 2/1 Mizuki in your waiting room, place on the stage in any slot.
This card's very funny. It's a Pina that changes into a soul assist.
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Lets you run like a really lean line of it because you want to see like this one earlier. You can use it even in like a more non-interactive deck. You like use it to save a level 1 combo, and then you have like not only like a stock out but a ditch out that changes into a card that is like it's exactly the same card economy as if you played the card from your hand. And it changes from your waiting room too, so you don't even have to have the card sculpted. And then you got the soul assist, global 5, same as the card that was on the board, so your power lines are the same. And then when you get the act, you get the extra 1,000. It's really nice. I'm actually a fan of this. I think this is like a 3. I think this is better than like your average tech. I think it's worth testing. I think it's very interesting that you can get this like little lean, like basically 3 card tech package that gives you like a soul assist in your deck that you just kind of rip out of nowhere. Because especially because the mid game in like Areco is looking overall little weak. So something like that soul assist kind of helps you keep up.
All right, let me double check here. Does it give itself soul trigger 2?
What?
1, 2,
No.
3.
No, it's the
4.
4 other cards.
Yeah, it doesn't give itself.
It
Unfortunate.
does stack. If you have 3 of these,
You do get
every
triple
one of those
choice.
cards will have triple choice on them.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad, not bad at all.
Will you even have enough soul triggers in your grave to do that though? Probably not. But this one I'll give it a 3 because I think it's worth testing. I think this is super cool.
This card's cool.
I will definitely be sleeving this up.
Hmm.
And he loves Junk
Well, you're
Girl.
sleeving up the whole place out, right?
All right,
Mhm,
next
that's
we
true.
got the
You're gonna have
card.
to.
Next we got the card that summons the 3/2. We got 2/1 Takina. All your other 3/2 Chisato and Takina gets plus 500 power and hexproof, so it can't be targeted by your opponent's card effect. So if your opponent has an effect that chooses a character, it cannot choose the 3/2. And it's also a 1500 assist to your characters. So with the assist, your combo sits at 11.5, 13k, 15k. So make sure combo sits at 15k.
It's 15.5, isn't it? She's 13.5, isn't she?
Uh-huh.
She's 11.5, right? Well, she's 11.5, and then it gets plus 2k. 13.5.
Oh yeah, plus another 500. That's why I messed up.
Yeah,
Plus
it'll be
500.
15.
So yeah, 15.5.
No, 15.5.
15.5.
15.5.
Yeah,
Because
sorry.
she gets 2k from the Takina, 2k from herself, and then an
And
actual
then
3K.
extra whole
Extra
2k from
yeah.
this. Yep.
And then it also has an effect where you can pay 3, rest this to summon out the 3/2 Chisato and Takina. If you stand by out early, you can do it at level 1 if you want to.
Wow, crazy.
It's so much stock.
And then, you know what else can get played at 1, Kevin?
Card name Yoshino Adachi. Or any other
Card
Adachi.
name any other Adachi.
Any Adachi. That's
Wow.
It all comes back to like zone removal is just so because we literally saw in the TD, we literally already saw a way to save this from getting run over in power. But
That's not gonna happen anyway.
also saw-
it's not it's
also
never
saw
gonna
Misato
happen in this meta. You're just gonna get Adachi.
Okay.
It's so
You're
unfortunate.
not playing this card expecting it to get run over. You're playing this card expecting it to get just hard removed.
If you do the standby strategy and you're playing standby in your deck, the fact that you do get this down usually for free with the standby that you're playing at level 1 does help the package a lot because the idea is you're going to shuffle these 1/1s that gain standby back in, and then you're going to use that to try to put multiple of these 3/2 on the board, and then they are pretty big because you're not comboing with them when you get them out, but like they're still going to be 13-5 or whatever when you get them out because you get that extra 2K. But even then, like your opponent like removes them, it's harder for you to get to that state where you can shuffle back and get them back out again cheaply than it is for them to just zone remove your cards. So like it all comes back to the same thing. It's just too expensive.
What if they don't remove them?
They don't remove them, you're rolling. If your opponent cannot answer these cards, don't get it twisted. Like you'll probably win.
No, let's get it twisted. That's how you win. What is this? Do you have to stand by it? Well, no. This card pay 3 rests to play the 3/2 on the board.
Yeah, you can pay a total of 4 to get one down.
5.
Five.
Oh, 4 for one card. I meant sorry, 5
for one card.
5 to combo.
But yeah, I was saying you can stand by this out and then summon out the 3/2 if you're.
Yeah, I saw people talking about standby when I kind of dunked on the 3/2 earlier, but like even then, it's still too expensive. So
it is.
I will give this the same rating. It's still just like a 2.
It might come up, but it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I hope somebody finds a way to make these cards work because they're super cute art and you could lock somebody out of a game with -3 soul hexproof.
Yeah. You know Brian from Nova TCG, he told me the was it LRR? He thinks the LRR for this looks ugly though, like the 3/2.
The 3/2 looks ugly.
It's the one with the cake in the teacup stamp, but he said it was just too big and covers like almost the entire card.
Oh, it covers up some of the art.
Yeah,
unfortunate.
All right.
Oh, let's see. They're up on YouTube. Oh, I see. They are really big.
This is when Callan was doing translation for one day. I forgot. He forgot the levels. What the 3/2 Chisato.
Kill him.
If you have 2 or less climaxes in your wing room, this gets -1 level in hand. If you have 2 more other characters, this gets +2K, so it's 11-5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And during this card's attack, you can perform trigger check twice. So it's free, so you always get +1 stock.
Yeah, it's like the scene on EP that I called bad in Sao Annie anime. It's there, I guess. It's a free EP.
It's not as good as
technically free.
What's her
name?
It's
big.
She's not as good as Kanade. Or was it Yui? Yui from Key. Is it Yui combo?
I mean, they printed something like this in Sao 10th Annie anime. It was like a scene on that just its only effect was like early play and then twin drive.
Yeah, it sucked.
I saw them come up. It's just like a quote unquote free 2-soul beater. Made even better if you're like playing good plussing triggers, or maybe when you trigger those, you mill your opponent for 4, which is pretty funny. But there's another splashable early play as well, like a healer that's attached to a really good card you're playing anyway. So it just gives you another option at a different timing, because this one's 2 or less, the other one's 4 or more. So if you don't really want to heal and you want to play a thick early play line, at least this is 11-5 and the other one's 11K, so you have like a defensible board. That used to be enough in the mid game, maybe not anymore, but still a good card to bridge you. I think it's like a 3. It's a pretty solid card. I think it's interesting.
I know. I remember when 10-5 with Hanacore was insane.
Yep. Me too.
The good old days.
All right,
Shout
next
out to 2020 format.
Next, we got 3/2 Kirby and Chisato. She kind of blends in the background there. And when this place stays from hand, you have 4 more other Lycoris. You have 4 more other characters. Choose 1 character in your wing room, send in stock. I'm too lazy to say the traits. And this ability activates once per turn. During a turn, this is placed on stage from hand. When damage dealt by this is cancelled, mill 1, deal X damage to your opponent. Execute the level of the card milled +1, often known as a Musashi effect. So
this is the Bofuri Musashi, right?
Musashi.
Yep, same card. Same exact card.
It's the Bofuri one. That card was actually pretty good. That was like one of the better cards in Bofuri.
Yep. If you want to use your climax to do something else and you need like a off finisher or something like that, like it's really easy to splash yellow, like we said. So this card is like totally acceptable as a off finisher. Not remarkable, but effective in what it does for a pretty cheap cost. Another easy 3.
Also, if you can't field like triple finisher, it's not a bad card. Felon is your
No, it's not.
That's a 1 stock, like a clutch. In case.
Hardest part about playing this card will be finding the slots to put it in your deck. At least what I've found so far.
All right, next we have another
What do-
3-2 Kurumi.
Wait, what do we rate it?
He gave it 3.
3? You don't know. I didn't see the stars, Kevin.
I put the stars up, boy.
Okay, I trust you.
All right, 3-2 Kurumi. When it's placed on stage from hand, you choose one of the following 2 effects and resolve it. First one, you can either A, send all your opponent's stock into their deck and shuffle their deck, and then they put the equal number of cards from the top of their deck into stock. Or B, choose one of your opponent's characters and return it to hand. So it's either a bouncer or one of the weaker, the nerf stock swap.
Shuffle into deck stock swap sucks. It actually just feels like you're coin flipping your opponent no matter what you do. Whereas like stock swap, a lot of time you'd rather not. You'd rather be making it as like as
Yeah.
reliable as possible.
If this card wasn't also a bouncer, I probably wouldn't consider it even as a one of. But the way the like one finisher works, where like you're like checking for level zeros, sometimes maybe even just like doing a random decompression, at least if it does something, because you're doing so many instances, might be something that you want to do if you have the other stock threshold. But the fact that you also have a bounce and you have a card that restands, maybe it's worth the one of tech. But you know, in testing, if like you're just not seeing that, especially, you know, it's going to be in a meta where Alice won't exist 10 days after it releases, hopefully.
What about in English?
And then in English, when it eventually does come out, hopefully Alice will be addressed as well. So we'll see. But I think it's like totally fine because it has the extra bouncer text put onto it. So I'll also give this one a 3, even though Jason is right. The stock swap, like, it just makes it random. It's like it makes every stock swap a coin flip.
If I lose to this card, I just don't feel good. I don't
No,
feel like I
no.
messed up. It's just cool.
I feel like it's literally just for really like the bounce and like maybe that if you have the extra stock, but at least it doesn't cost an extra stock to do.
Yeah. You just slam it, you Hail Mary your opponent. Like, God, I hope this ruins your deck.
Yep.
It'd be so sick.
At least it's only 2 stock and not 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Thankfully.
Next we have 00 Mizuki. When the choice CX is placed in your climax area, you form more Lycoris or weapon characters. You can drop the 1 card, then choose 1 card in your hand and send it to stock. And you can act, pay 1, rest this to reveal the top player deck. If it's a character or an event, add the hand. So
Like, why?
Yes, we used to get like a draw one, ditch one, and a free stock.
It's a draw one and then draw one hand of stock.
Yeah, draw one hand of stock.
It's
And
basically
then
just,
the card
just
coin
stock
flips
one.
the plus, like using that stock. Like the intent is that you use the effect of the card the next turn to like get a card out of it, but that's still a coin flip. Like, and it doesn't move the card; it just reveals the card. So then you have to like spend stock moving the card, which like hopefully is with a brainstorm, so you still plus. But then what if you whiff again or something like that? I don't know.
If you do not
seems
whiff,
bad.
it's basically like a draw 2, ditch 1.
Yes.
combo.
If you do not whiff, if you're just a good player, you just don't whiff. Yeah, let's see some of those in the
level 1 combos.
chat.
There's a better level 0 combo you can be playing in this set.
Oh yeah,
For
100%.
sure.
So yeah, this is just a 1. Do not like.
Smooch.
No,
alright.
see, Chad knows. Good job, Chad. I'm proud of you.
00 Kurumi, when its attacks, choose one of your other characters. This turn gets plus X power. X is equal to that character's soul times 1000, so it's a soul
His face
Shibukai.
is so good.
Yeah, it's really.
And
good.
then at the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can sack one of your other characters. If you do, move this to an open position in your back row.
All right, so now we just need a spawn Ricky and an IMA.
At the start of your
Oh my god, please no, not again.
Oh, it's one attack phase? No, just kidding.
No, it's not
this
end
sucks.
of this card's attack like Marin is.
Like, okay,
they
this would be
nerfed
kind of
it.
cool with the Chisato runner if like your board was full and you wanted to save the power pump for the next turn instead of saving the Chisato. Because you could stack the Chisato and then get your plus there too, and then cut this back and go +2. Pixar could do that play. It was always really cool. They did it with like a check 4 thing, which was
Yeah,
the
the
blue
Dory.
people. Yeah, and the Dory, which was really cool. But I don't know if you need to do that in this deck because you have the really good JC that we'll look at when we finally get to blue.
It's just the key JC, dude. Calm down.
Yeah, I mean it's still pretty good.
It is good.
Because the key JC
That
is really
JC,
good.
the JC that the JC that some key decks don't even play. Very
I can't
cool.
believe that. That's
Well,
insane.
they have Shiki.
Card's so good. I guess they do have Shiki. Good old Black Panther. What a good card. But yeah, I think this is just like a 2. It's like a tech. Maybe you play it in like the situation where that soul buff is good and you play it with the runner. Get some Q plays out of it. But nah.
Naruhodo.
Alright, what'd you get this? 2?
Alright. 2.
Yeah, it's like a 2.
Not horrible. Well, not something you really look to pick up. Alright, this is one of the targets for the 1-0, what's talking about, that gives out everyone souls.
Yep.
0-0 Mika, when this is placed on stage from hand, your opponent declares 0, 1, 2, or 3. Reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a character with the same level as the number declared by your opponent, place it on stage in any slot. And during this card's battle, when this card is damaged, when the damage you take is cancelled, you can send this to stock.
Alright, what number do you guys call on these cards?
0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Okay. Thinking sure.
Never call any other number unless you know for a fact your opponent does not play a single level 2.
Yeah, I've only ever called 2 when I was playing against my local that beat you with Bofuri.
Yeah.
And we counted all of his 2s were out.
Wait.
Oh
What if
that
you
was
play this?
I died from 2-4 to that man. He was
What if you play this? Your opponent calls 2, you summon a 2-1 Takina, and you summon out a 3-2.
We can talk about what ifs all day, but if anyone,
that's
still not good. I would actually rather just spawn out the 2-1 dual laner.
this is so.
What imagine, bro? You can combo.
It'd be so sick, bro.
No, it's just like a 1. This card doesn't do anything because your opponent always. It's like a coin flip for a plus for a 0. It's like a spawner. It's like a main phase spawner.
Your opponent declares 2 or 3.
It's a main phase spawner. Is what it is.
I like the draw ones better. Why does it have to be a spawn one? Draw ones is so much cooler.
Yeah, because this is worse.
When they do something else, this one just like might go to stock. It's like a 1, dude.
It always goes to stock if you're a good player.
What do you mean? This card deals uncancelable damage. You'll never get
it's when the damage you take is canceled.
Oh, okay. It was one of those.
It's the win more effect.
Misread.
Another one though. It's not translated by me. 0-0 Takina. All your other character gets plus 500 power. And when a climax of the choice trigger is placed in your climax area, choose one opponent's front row character. This turn, it gets minus 2k power.
But Kevin, this isn't all your other characters. That wouldn't work in standard.
Oh yeah, fuck. Okay, shut up. I'm not gonna read the traits, dude. It's horrible.
I do it every time.
There's no point. Okay. If you are playing that choice deck that gives everything a choice trigger, and you are firing off like
just -6,
minus 6k with like one of these in the back row, because when you trigger a card with a choice trigger, have.
This is
like
climax is played.
No. This is a climax.
Oh, it's specifically a climax.
This is like the Nino 1-1.
Oh, it's when it's placed.
Bro, do you know how many people?
Oh man, I misread it. I misunderstood.
Ugh.
This is when the climax is placed. Damn, that sucks. Never mind. This is a
Come
1.
have me hyped.
This is a 1. Done. I was like, man, you could stack this. You could twin drive and trigger all the choices, like nuke things all over the place.
And most of those also say if you trigger a climax of a choice trigger, it's not.
Yeah, do you know how many people are gonna start cheating with that fucking 2-1 Nino in like a week?
Oh, okay.
Everyone's gonna be like, trigger 3-2 Nino, get 3k power. It's a standby, haha. It's like, no.
No,
sorry.
It doesn't work. It specifically
it's a Bochi, but why is she a Bochi?
Alright, 0-0
It's not a true Bochi.
If you have 1 or less other characters,
you're right.
This gets
plus
level 1 plus 2,500 power. So she's 4/5 level 1 if you have 1 or less other character. So
power creep Kaijin, Kevin.
I can't believe
they
power crept Yumiko.
My Kaijin,
I mean, Mito was also this exact same card.
They power crept Yumiko.
I played these. They're fine. Like I played the Mito and I was like testing Ian only like bar before like we all realized Alice was like the best things in sliced bread.
No, we knew.
We knew. But like yeah, it's fine. It's like a 2. I think it's a totally fine plusing 0. If you really just need the card on the next turn, you need to ensure like that you just have the raw card.
Or it doesn't die
in hand. Off your draw the next turn, like that you're just gonna get that plus. and you have that one card flex, then this is definitely the card to go to. They can be really, really strong. As Kevin showed everybody with Slime, it's like exactly what Slime wants. You just want to one card flex for Chloe. You just want to throw it away and get your mask. So if you have something like that you're trying to do, this is like your go-to card, but it's still like a tech. So it's a 2.
Already even bombs this meta though. And JP. No. Not that. Every so
But
often, some people
in the end,
might
it's still a
play
45 though.
bombs. Yeah, in the end, it's still a profile that's like almost impossible to out.
Shut up, Johnny.
But what Overlord deck plays a bomb? Fucking
Kevin. Well, that's a level 0 bomb, so it doesn't work anyway.
Yeah, the fucking event.
Yeah, it's level 1.
But your card is a bomb.
All right. Next we got 1-0 Kurumi. When you use cards backup, if you have it's a 2K backup.
It's a 2K counter. Just
Ooh.
slap it with the like 2 or 3 or whatever you guys
2.
give these, and let's just move to the next one.
1-0 Mizuki on play, it gets plus 3K, so it's 5/5. And when this attacks, the level of character crosses level 2 or higher, it just gets plus 6K, so it is a 11/5 against level 2, but it also has a soul trigger.
I like this one more
So
because it
level
has a soul
2
trigger.
killer.
Yep, soul trigger better.
It still
What did
sucks,
we give the
but
other
it's
one a
soul
1?
trigger.
Yeah, you
So this one
get
gets a 2. This one gets a 2.
Okay.
Soul
Okay,
trigger.
I would have given this like a 1.5, but
Yeah, it's like a 1.5, but we'll give it a 2 for the meme. 2 for the meme because it's better.
Soul
she's
trigger.
all biased.
I am biased. I fucking love music.
Trigger bias. 2-1 Chisato Takina. You can, when you use cards backup, you can pay 1, sack 1, and then choose one opponent's character, gets -1 soul per turn, and it's a 2,500 backup.
I don't like big soul counters personally.
The -1 soul
never use
counters.
Yeah.
If you're playing the -3 soul like lockout deck, maybe this is something you consider. Just
Yeah,
to,
-4
if
soul.
if your opponent ever triggers, you just say no. Like if they ever trigger for 4 with like a twin drive against your giant card, you just tell them absolutely no way. You're not dealing damage. Maybe in that strategy it's fine, but otherwise I don't see any reason for this. But like it's not terrible. It's a level 2 defensive counter with a sack. So just another 2.
2-1 Mizuki. We saw it earlier. It's a 500 system plus 1 soul to characters, and this ability can activate up to once per turn. When you use an act, choose one of your character, it gets plus 1K power.
Wow.
So mixed your
It's a soul
2/5
pump.
counter we saw earlier, a 3/5 counter.
I love
Excited to
soul pump
mess with this
assists.
little package. We can just give it a 3. We already talked about it, so
Yep.
move to the next one.
0-0 Takina. When it's placed on stage
So
from hand, choose one of your
cute.
opponent's front row character. This turn it gets plus 3K power.
It's so
so
bad.
why would you play this over the loner?
Yeah.
Wait, this one's because this one is Taki in a witch hat. It's cute.
It is extremely cute. I love the art.
You
I like
can also
I love
tri-field
these
this card.
Halloween ones. You could.
Make an opponent's
But
character plus 9K.
if you have like a bomb on field, the power doesn't matter. I remember Simu said that in his It's like they have a bomb or you go first. It doesn't matter. The card's just a free 45.
Well,
but
it's also just like if they play anything that a 45 can kill, even with 3K power, it's fine. And then if it's
they
like
can
if
also
play a
side it.
back row.
This
it's
one they
not
can
good, yeah.
side. They can't side the loner, so you just play
but
the
you could
Bochi.
try
Yeah,
field this.
you could, but like, does it matter? Does that matter?
I don't know.
I think this one's a 1.
This is Chisato
Unfortunately,
Halloween one.
the really cute card. Unfortunately, a 1.
Yeah, she is.
Next, we got 1-0 Chisato.
That's my
When
girl.
it's placed on stage from hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character, this gets plus 1 soul. And start your opponent's start your climax phase, your opponent may basically pay 2. And if you do, this card cannot run attack.
This card sucks.
So it's a 2 so 6K that your opponent can pay 2
You
to deny.
think that line of text doesn't matter until you need
Until the
this
one
card
time
to
it
win
does.
you the game and your opponent pays 2. It's like
Okay, but you could just bounce their card, put this in direct lane, and then they
You
can't
could.
stop it.
and then you swing for 4 because this card gets a soul.
Yeah, they take it.
And they eat it and they die. We can talk about the unbelievable upsides and also the unbelievable downsides, but at the end of the day, you're right. It's back. It's a 1. Why do both these cards with this really cute art unfortunately be pack filler? Is what it is.
Because you'll be happy to get anyway.
Yeah, I'll be happy to open those.
All right, 1/1 Takina. It is a stock Adachi.
Damn, she's just finger gunning. Bang.
I believe this is the only Adachi in the set. Thankfully, it is in yellow, which is an easily splashable color. As I
There's
keep
only 3
mentioning.
colors in this set.
Yeah.
One of
You
the
just
There
bought all
are
those
sets.
colors.
There are sets that get multiple Adachis, Jason. You can't hit me with that. There
Yeah,
are
Quince
sets
has
where
one
like
in every color and
Adachi,
more. What's the
every
point?
Adachi has a color, or every color has an Adachi.
I was mostly giving you shit for the splashable part, not necessarily the Adachi part.
Oh yeah, sure. It's like a 2. It's an Adachi. You know if you need it. No other effect.
All right.
Are we done with yellow? I want coffee.
No.
Fuck.
No, we're so close.
2/1 Kurumi. It's a 3-color set, so each color is like
I know,
over 30
right?
cards.
Yeah, a little
33
bit
cards,
larger.
whatever.
Yeah. 2/1 Kurumi for each of the other back row characters. It gets plus 2,500 power. So double back row, she's 10-5. And when it's attacks, if you have the choice 6 in your climax area, choose one of your characters, or choose one character in your waiting room. Send a stock, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets plus X power. X equal to the number of your Lycoris Recoil or weapon characters times 500. So you have a full board. She's 13k
Yeah, if you say
Yeah.
so.
or 14k.
This card's worse than just getting like an Alice, like
No,
a con
13K.
on in your set.
Yeah, it's 13k.
Sure, Kevin, whatever you say. Nobody cares.
It's like a lot worse than like the other level 2 combos.
He's just gonna
but
give it a 1 anyway.
It just gives it power. Well, it is cross turn power, but like, damn, man, it's like 25, like 10-5, swing at 11-5 on attack. Another 25, 14, sit at 13. Who cares? It's a 1. Why am I doing the math? It's a 1. It's a 1. You're right. It's just like a on attack salvage for a 2/1. Like try to. No, there's no way to EP this or anything. It just is what it is. It's not good. That's a 1. We can move on.
Okay.
More cards, Kevin.
2/1 Chisato. When this plays the stage from hand, you have 4 moderate characters. You can blind stock one, and then when it's attacked, or when this is placed on stage from hand, this turn gets plus X power. X is equal to the number of your Lycoris Recoil or weapon character times 1k. So full field, she gets 5k. She gets 12-5. So it's a free 12-5.
She's just a level 2 killer with extra steps.
Free 12k, not 12-5.
Yeah. It's just a kill anything card, except it's worse than the 2/1 35s that gain 10k. Like every single one of these that they print is worse than that Miko profile. It's just another 1. At least it's free, but like I wouldn't bother messing with this.
3/2 Mizuki. When it's placed on stage from hand, it's the drop assassin effect. So full field, she gets 5k. So it's 15k. And then when it's placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1 if you do salvage the climax.
I would rather play this than a check X to try to like get some climax assurance in my deck. Usually like just a climax swap is enough if you're playing something like Pants. But you know, if you're not, you're playing like 8 door, you're playing something like that where it's a good trigger, or 8 choice where you don't have access to your climax, you don't have cantrips, you don't have way to dig. Something like this in yellow, of course, again, pretty easy to slot into your deck. Pay 1, just pick up your climax. And we have a lot of ways in this set to actually charge stock. Like one particular very easily splashable way to charge stock is like a costless 1/0 card. So the extra stock threshold to get your climax, pay 3, get your climax, get a big lane. Not that bad. But it's like a 2. Just a way to pick up your climax if you think you're having a rough time getting it. It's like a card you put in after testing when you're like, I just can't get my climax at 3, like the way the play patterns are going. I need a card that's like on demand, slam it down, get my climax. It's like a card you put in after testing. It's one of those.
All right. 1/0 event. Choose one of your characters. This turn gets plus 2k power and the following ability. This ability activate up to once per turn. When this card attacks, perform trigger step twice during your trigger step. Or perform a trigger check twice. So basically, it's a 2k. Give a character 2k and trigger. That was one drive. Hand and stock, basically.
It's poop.
It's poop.
Yep. It's poop. This card would have been cool if it had a counter symbol on it. So it was double purpose. But instead, it's just a hand of stock that gives power. with the extra steps that might trigger more climaxes. Obviously, we can see its intended use in the choice spam deck. But outside of that, because it does not have that counter symbol, it's not like a very like versatile card. It's like a 1. I don't really like this package. I don't like this like give characters a bunch of triggers stuff without like some sort of major upside. Like a really good filter for that trigger, like some way to actually leverage it like immediately. Funny art though. Really funny scene from the show. Fan of that at least.
Unfortunate. All right, Red, you gonna go somewhere, Jason?
Yeah, it's
What?
break
Yes,
time. I need to hit the restroom.
Oh my god, all these people
Hey,
leaving
entertainment
me
coming.
already. What the fuck? All right, boys. Who's going to Vancouver this weekend? I'll see you there. I'm about to whoop some ass with my team of UA Pang and his friend. Oh, my flight's in 2 days. Go to Vancouver. Toronto winning it all. Oh, you think Torontarian's gonna win it all? I have you know. The guy who wasn't the guy who win Toronto BCF from BC or BCS, and then and Vancouver has the world champion, dude. Vancouver has 2 world champions. We have UA Pang and William Tang. So I don't know, man. Does the guy who won Worlds in Toronto still even play? What was his name? Like Philip Lai? Was he from Toronto? I can't remember. But that's like 2014 Worlds or some shit. Houston has 2 world champions, Riaz and Riaz. Vancouver has all the Jets. True. We don't talk about the B guy. Alright, how are you guys liking Lycoris Recoil so far? I think yellow is pet. I think yellow is probably the weakest of the 3 colors that we get for the set. And then, yeah, sounds about right. I think yellow is weakest. Yellow has a cool -3, so but nothing else much going for it. I'm my own apartment. I'm a champ. Oh, in my own apartment. I'm not spoiled on it. Oh, you don't know it. So this is your first time seeing any of these cards? That's pretty cool. Get ready to see there's some pretty cool cards coming up soon. So I'll get ready for those. If this deck will become meta, it's hard for me to tell. Out of the gates, it doesn't really scream anything. But, I mean, any set can just get much better over time. Once the right deck is figured out. You're just lucky I'm not rolling up to Vancouver to clap you. Okay, bro. Yo, didn't Hawaii used to have regionals? Whatever happened to that? Or am I like misremembering everything? Did Hawaii even had anything? Yeah, I'm only watching Avatar: Last Airbender and Spy X Family. Okay, makes sense. Those 2 are a pretty popular series. Hey, Yellow Brainstorm was pretty good. Jason mentioned Pad before. What's that doing? Okay, Puzzle and Dragon. If you do not know, Puzzle and Dragon is probably gonna be. Currently, I think it's currently like a top 5 deck in Japanese. The Soul Trigger deck, the one with the Nate finisher. Puzzle Dragon after banlist could be like a top 1 or 2 deck if they hit like any of the cards that's around the same tier as Puzzle Dragon. I was watching Jason bought the deck recently, and we were watching him play.
All right.
Basically, he's able to kill people from 2-2. He almost killed Carmen from 2-0.
Oh yeah, when I was like really, I was like fairly compressed. I was playing D side. I was fairly compressed, and Jason just slammed down double, and I wasn't very like familiar with the set. I had only played 1 game. This was like our 2nd game we were playing, and I didn't really realize like leaving a small deck even with a 3-card shuffle back when they're gonna burn you for another 4, if you cancel like the top right of your small deck, you can just get rocketed and just get sent up. We were just talking. I think Kevin was talking about like how lethal the pad finisher is.
Yeah, one of our viewers was saying that Jason mentioned pad. How's that doing? And basically just telling him Puzzle Dragons.
Pad is so sick.
It's easily a tier 1 deck, and it could be a like top 2, top 1 deck after.
I think that combo is so fucking bullshit.
That brainstorm was nuts.
The brainstorm is like itself pretty whatever, but it has like that little synergy with the 1-0 combo that makes it like more obnoxious. It's like, wow.
You see a non-soul trigger, you put a bottom.
You stock it. Goodbye.
And you stock it later, or if you do see a soul trigger, you get free.
Yeah, it's like the fact that like because you don't process your deck that much, so long as you know you're not gonna like use your Ruijerd, you know that card is gonna be there reliably. Also, in general, even if I'm blind stock, like raw blind stocking, I feel so much better blind stocking the bottom card of my deck than the top card of my deck, because like you're like never gonna process that card in like a real game, right? So like, if it ever
the only time you process it is when you eat it, right? Like as damage usually, or you mill all the way through your bottom of your deck. Pretty rare.
But yeah, like that level 1 combo just feels really good. It feels like it's like a better Rondo because it is just better Rondo. Rondo's a TD card after all. But and then the Nay top end really do be out here nay-naying its opponent. And you just die. I killed Carmen. I almost killed Carmen from 2-0, but he's a high roller.
Well, it's a combo exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I canceled like a motherfucker.
So the pad finisher, if you did not remember from the last set review show we did, it was on play. You can heal a character from your clock to the bottom of your deck. This is good because you can heal soul triggers to the bottom of your deck. And the climax combo is on attack and pay 1, discard 1 with the choice CX. You mill 7 cards. If you mill 3 CXs or more, you burn 4. If you mill 4 CXs or more, you shuffle 3 cards back into your deck. And then if you mill 6 soul triggers, my bad, not CXs, soul triggers. If you mill 6 soul triggers or more, you burn 4 again. So it's a burn 4, shuffle 3, burn 4. And with the way the deck is built and all the tools you have, it is actually not unrealistic to make almost every single one of your combos. If you triple
I will say this: very small sample size.
6 soul triggers.
Yeah, only 3 games. Very small sample size. However, 2 of them were not going Jason's way, and he still fucking like mill 6 got me.
Yeah,
it was sick.
If you do triple combo, that means and because your swings are most likely gonna be swings for 4 because you have a bunch of soul triggers, but it means that you have if you even 3 of your burn 4s or swing for 4 stick,
you're just a cheaper Xenon.
You kill from 2/2.
Oh, that you mean that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
you get roughly 7 to 9 burn 4s or swing for 4s basically, and if 3 of those stick, you kill for 3 2/2.
Yeah. Kind of nuts.
Yeah, it was really disgusting. Like
no, you can't even make no count as relevant because like, so your deck is on average 30 soul triggers. Because you have 4 non-soul trigger climaxes and you have 16 zeros usually. One of your zeros is just a memory drop search, nice and simple. But you also get the 2/1 back row that turns all of your choices into soul triggers. So you're on like effectively 34 zeros. And a lot of the time, I wasn't even like really trying. I wasn't modulating my deck in any real way that mattered. And I was still just hitting the 6s on Carmen, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's
like even in the bad games, it didn't matter.
Yeah, you just shoot people. And you're like, oh wow. I won my foot.
Yeah, there are tools.
It's like Ozkigura, but
to shuffle CX's.
Arguably, probably more fun to play. Honestly, it's Pilot. Ozkigura is kind of drooling.
Ozkigura is like, okay, I'm just gonna slam down these cards and get to level 3. And Pad feels like you sort of have a game at level 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of.
Sometimes.
Not as good as other decks, but it doesn't matter. We just kill from
Well, hey, enough
Level
about
2.
Pad. This is the Lycoris Recoil show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pad
yeah.
is
We all
We're-
good to move on to red?
Yeah, we're done. We're done on the break. Let's go see into red. First up, we have 00 Majima. When it's placed on stage for Pan, if you enter Lycoris Recoil or weapon character, this gets plus 2k power. And then when this is reversed, you can discard one. If you do, check top 4 cards of your deck. Choose up to one Lycoris Recoil or weapon character from among them. Show the opponent at the hand and then send the rest to waiting room. Do you call this an on reverse Agasa or an on reverse Chieri?
What?
It adds
this is on reverse
traded, so I
Ozasa.
could on reverse Ozasa.
It's also discard. It's discard immediately on reverse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so is it Agasa or
So it's Ozasa.
Chieri?
It's Ozasa.
Well, what's the
Yeah,
difference between
Cheery is specifically on death.
Yeah, and Agasa is specifically on play. That's
All right, then it's Majima. So shut the fuck up.
Man, it's Majima, yeah. I like it.
Rize for 4.
Shut the fuck up.
There are 2 cards like this in this set. This one mills up to 4, add traded. The other one must mill 4 and salvages for number of soul triggers. I'm really split on them. I need to test them. The upside to this one specifically is that this one can lead to another level 0 turn if you open it or if you cancel and you get like a 0 turn that you're not expecting. It lets you be reactive even though it's on reverse. So like the timing is still awkward. You might not have full information. You might not have full whatever, but it still lets you add another 0. That is a thing you can do, and it swings at 3/5. So we got to test it. I'm unsure of it, so I'm gonna give it a 3 for now. I don't think there's any way the card is like bad or like a tech. It's definitely a card that like you test it and it either like is really good for the deck or it's not. But it's a card I definitely need to throw in and like play with and see how bad the timing is, because obviously we can all realize the timing is objectively terrible. On reverse is the worst possible timing for these kinds of effects. We've all played with on reverse Rizes. We know how bad they are. Unless you're Andy, and then Andy thinks they're great. But anyway, like still, we got to see how good it actually is. The fact that it's a filter immediately and it moves an extra card and can add trade it. So we'll see. I
are playing this though. Are you considering playing this?
Yeah, a lot of decks I've seen are throwing it in. But then again, no one has their hands on the cards yet, so we haven't actually played it. A lot of decks early in the things play on reverse Rizes too, and then they're immediately cut for better cards. So we'll see. At least we have a Fuka 0 to fall back on if we don't need this.
All right, next we got the level 1 combo 1/0 Takina and Chisato. If all your characters are traded, this gets plus 1k power, so it's 5/5. And then when it attacks, if you have the Door CX in your climbing area and you have 2 more other characters, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Choose up to one Lycoris Recoil character or the 2/2 event pictured below. Show it to your opponent at a hand in the rest of the waiting room. Then choose one of your opponent's characters until the end of your opponent's next turn against the following ability. Continuous, this cannot move to other slots, so it stuns one of your opponent's characters.
Yeah, it's a Minami that grabs this 2/2 event that's funny, but it's not very good. The stun is like nichely good, right? It's gonna be irrelevant 90% of the time, but then you play against that one random standby deck and you just like hose them. Or Azkigura, it's potentially like pretty debilitating if you just like you're gonna push them to 3. You just like slam this down, you hit both their Guras that are on the board, and you're just like, no.
And it's just free, right? Like this is a Maguro with an extra effect. It's kind of like pretty reminiscent of like the power that we saw already revealed, where it's like this is a Maguro and it's a level 2 killer.
Yeah, but it's weak. That's the biggest issue.
This one's weaker. This one is 65 down with the climax, but it's on a good trigger and it's non-interactive, and you do get that little bit of extra feather with the this cannot move to other slots. You give that wherever, so your opponent can't even shove up their back row next turn if they have a full back row, or if you can't clear something, their card's just stuck there, which is kind of funny if you have like a chump lane. So I think it'd be a little bit more annoying than you think, but like it's still a totally fine combo. I'm just gonna give it a 3 because like it's definitely like just a super solid combo. We'll see how it pans out with the other ones, but it is definitely solid and on power line for like current Japanese Weiss. So I'm happy with it as it stands.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. All right, next
You're
we
okay.
got 3-2 Chisato. If you have 4
Nice.
other characters, this gets +/- 1 level in hand, so it's level 2 4 more. On play, you can heal 1, and then when it's placed on stage from hand, if you have a 0/0 Takina, which we haven't seen yet, in your waiting room, this until the end of your opponent's next turn, it gets +3k power, so it's 11k cross turn.
Yep, it's a healer. You have to play the JC, so you're probably gonna want to play the JC anyway, though, right? So
Yeah, pretty non-intrusive to include. 4 or more is really nice. You can always do it. Just a nice little, gap card to get you to 3. Like I previously mentioned, I think the mid game in Lycoris Recoil is like relatively weak, unless you're trying to do something like shuffle back and summon multiple of the 3/2 yellow Neg-Soul in one turn. So without that, you really need like pretty decent gap cards, and I think this is fine. Like just or not really a gap card, but like a bridge card to bridge you into level 3. And I think this is totally fine, provided you're playing the JC.
Takina, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give this a 4. I think this is a totally like decent enough early play. I think you'll see this in a lot of lists, just because they're probably already going to be running the JC.
Sounds good. All right, next we got one half of your endgame finisher for Door. We got 3/2 Chisato. When it's placed on stage from hand, choose one character in your waiting room at the hand, and climax combo. When this ability only activates up to once per turn. At the end of this card's attack, if you have the Door CX in climax area and you have 2 or more other characters, you can pay 3, discard 1, and stand this. And there'll be another card that will combo off the same CX that we'll talk about later.
It does give this card an effect that can do burns, possibly twice. So the idea is that this card will restand and then do that again, sort of a build your own America kind of thing, where it's going to do that effect
America.
2 times.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Do that twice, or up to 4 times actually, if you have double of the other card. Does on play salvage. Helps you get into another copy of this, because what's really cool about this, as opposed to something like Assault Lily, which this keeps getting compared to, is it's actually really effective to just do 2 of this if you want, right? You can do 2 of this, 1 of the other one. Depending on exactly what's a better line, you can sort of flex that other card, right? You always have 1 of this, 1 of the other card, which is a Takina, and then when you play this one down, salvage the other copy for whichever finisher you want to do. Or if you need another copy of this, which you need to effectively ditch to make the other one work. So the fact this card is on play salvage is actually really nice as well. Can be an effectively pretty insane finisher. The fact that it's so cheap, I believe it's 7 stock to go off with double Takina, 1 Chisato. That is extremely cheap for how potent.
No, you went to the other way. Double Chisato Takina.
Double Chisato, 1
Takina.
Takina.
No, it's 8.
It's 8. Okay, same as
the double
same
restand plus Takina's is 8. Yeah.
Double restand plus Takina is 8, and then
double.
I think double Takina
plus 1 restand
might be 7.
Might be 7. Okay,
but it was worse regardless.
It
was like
slightly worse.
Cheaper but worse.
It's
Cheaper, but
you
worse,
lose
yeah.
you lose 1 swing, but you get the same amount of like.
No, is it
mill burns?
6 stock? It's 6 stock, right? You just have to slam all 3.
Yeah, because it's end of
yeah. You need to slam all 3. It's also 6
Well,
stock.
So
you say it's 2 stock cheaper to get 1 less attack, but you get the same.
But it is
amount
also
you get the same amount of mill burns.
So technically, if it's only 8 stock with Chisato, if you have to attack with Chisato first, by the way.
Okay.
Just as a thing, but like usually you always want to play for the 8 stock because you always want to play for that since you can, confirm whether it's best or not.
Yeah, you get 1 more instance going for that, but you do in your worst games get 1 less instance for 2 less stock, which is definitely super relevant. The fact this can be super efficient. This is like a 4.5. This is definitely like a reason you want to play the set, right? But like, is it really super insane? It has the drawback of like it is an interactive combo, and the fact that it restands, right? And like this card is susceptible to memory kick. It does get extra power, but like that is something you have to worry about. You do have a bouncer, but like restanding an open lane's terrible. Like I don't know. It's got some things that keeps me from giving it a 5, just because it is
I
so
think
cheap, right?
The better way
It's
you
the
have to look at it,
Yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah, it's
These
easy.
cards,
it's very easy.
These cards all like naturally just kind of like they flow into each other because Chisato has the salvage effect on her.
Yes.
And like
Mhm.
it all of itself is so comfy. You have the synergy already with your brainstorm that you're going to play no matter what. It all is just like feels like this set really did just kind of build around this card and this top end
Yes.
as like your thing, with like the Neg Soul being like the afterthought of a top end, which is what it is. I mean, they're really good. Like I think they're really good.
For the
But
efficiency, and you know how easy it is, like Jason said.
I
Let's
mean,
give it
you
the
played
5.
Assault Lily, right?
Let's give it the 5.
Let's give it a 5.
Let's give it the 5.
This
Let's
is
give
a
it the
card
5.
to build your deck around.
Yeah, but you played like you've played Assault Lily. You know.
Yeah.
You know what they're like. They are. This is like. It's like Assault Lily, but like
If
you're more of
Assault
your
Lily
damage is
just
front loaded.
happened, you have to work so hard to get that thing all together. This is just like,
Yeah, this
I'm
kind
there,
of
I
puts itself
got it.
together. You just have to have the stock, which is like really nice, I think, because I think a lot of time like in Assault Lily, even like watching people play it, sometimes you lose out on your top end, whether you had it or not, because you had to spend resources to like
do something
put it
else,
together.
like climax swap or do that or grab another piece. This is just like the combo just happens, right? It's just there. It just happens.
Yeah, it's really just in your hand.
I think
Okay,
that's
cool.
worth the 5. I think that's worth the 5.
And I remember.
Plus, also it's more solid damage than Assault Lily. As well.
There's a card.
More real damage, not icy tails.
There is a card in red which gives you infinite amount of stock.
But shut up. No.
Theoretically,
No.
infinite amount of stock.
Theoretically, yeah.
0/0
cool.
Mizuki. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can pay 1 if you do move this to an open slot in your back row, so it's a back row runner. And at the start of your opponent's attack phase, you can discard 1 card. If you do, choose one of your other characters, put underneath this card face up as a marker, and at the start of your next draw phase, choose 1 character underneath this card as a marker and place it on stage in any slot. If you
It's
know
Mater.
Pixar, it is
Mater.
the Mater.
It is Mater, like Toe Mater.
She bails you out because she's like the she's like the
She's
car
the
driver.
escape driver.
Yeah, escape
Yeah,
driver. Yeah,
she's the escape driver. Yeah,
she bails
Yeah,
you
she's
out.
sick.
funny
We
flavor.
love Mizuki.
It's funny that like I love when Weiss takes like, yes, like if you don't know what set it was previously printed in, it still makes sense as a flavor wise, but if you know what set it was previously printed
It's
in,
even funnier.
it's even funnier. I love when they do this. So
She really do just be the tow truck.
if you are playing the dual laner package, this is one of your only ways to like try to save one, pretty similar to how Turv did it.
I don't know,
by
man. Everybody said that was
cutting
really
one
bad
back.
in Curve.
I know, and it did end up getting cut from most lists, but it is a play you could do and doubles as a +0. So
It's true.
I think it's fine. I think it's like a 2. You have to have a very specific strategy to make great use of this card. You have to be playing a very specific card that you want to save at some point in the game for this card to be worth it. So that is like by definition a 2.
You know, your 3 can't get dodge either. You suck it. Too bad you need to.
You just can't get your next one either. So
You have it on board the next
Wait, no. It's the beginning of the attack phase. You can
no,
suck it up and
it's
still
this
get the
card
next one, right?
games. It's this card games.
Oh, across. Never mind. Never mind.
You do not get.
It would work with Sora. It wouldn't work with this one.
Yeah.
All right, next. Oh, she's making a face. All right, next we got Zero Chisato. During
I'm
a
about
turn,
it.
if this card has a marker underneath it, it gets +2k power. When it's placed on stage from hand, reveal top pair deck. If it's a character, you can put it underneath this card face down as a marker. And at the start of your opponent's draw phase, you can mill 2. If you mill level 2 or higher card from among them, you can return this to hand. This profile does see play in Hololive.
It does. The Iroha. Kind of.
Yeah. The mill
Iroha
2
was
Mill
buff
2
another character though. It could buff anything though, couldn't it?
Yeah. And the other thing is, Iroha
So-
is in the deck where you play a bunch of level 2s and higher. Where you play play like 20 plus level 2s or higher.
35 swing, coin flip, May marker. The May marker is interesting. There's some top check stuff in this set. Where if you play this as your +0, you get that like extra top check stuff confirmation for free. However, I don't like this profile. I don't like force mill. beginning of the opponent's draw phase. Like I know it has a higher chance to hit. It's like a slanted coin flip. But fielding these in the late game, if this card ever happens to live, it's just like just feels terrible. I think there's better +0 profiles to be playing. If you don't have a reason to play the top deck, you don't have a reason to play this card. I don't think it's quite pack filler, but I don't think that's great either. I think it's just another 2. But more for the reason of why would you play this? Because there's better options as opposed to it being a tech.
Yeah, especially in the set that isn't like Hololive where it's like kind of hard up for deck speed, so you play what you can get for it.
Yeah.
Hololive has all the deck speed.
All right, next
Sorry, Lycoris has all the deck speed.
Next, we have Wenzo Chisato. This cannot move to other slots, so the moment you play it down, you better hope you place it down in the right spot. And in continuous, if you have 2 more other Lycoris Recoil weapon character, this gets +3k power, so 7k always. And during this card's battle, when you damage you take is cancelled, you may return to the hand. So the reason why she can't move is she's tied to a tree.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I'm pretty sure literally everybody that isn't on audio
everybody
mode
got that, dude.
She's tied up, she can't move.
It's very funny.
Except
it's like
it
really
funny. It's
really
it's
bad.
weird. Is it? I don't know, man. Like, there are level 0 combos in this set. There are like ways to give another card like a thing. This card could swing at 8k with a climax and might plus. Maybe. But like there are probably better cards to be playing that also swing at this power line. But like, it's still pack filler. This is still a 1. This is still a 1. I'm just thinking, man. I got my handicap on. I'm trying to see the potential.
Okay. Here's the flavor for the third effect though. It's because she dodges damage, so she dodges a shot, and then it hits the rope, and then she's able to escape after. That's why she bounces back when you dodge.
That's a fucking spoiler. You.
Spoiler for like a 2-second scene. Okay.
Out of context, it's not a spoiler.
You just spoiled the whole gimmick, dude.
You don't know why she's
I do.
Yeah, but you watched the show. It's not a spoiler.
I've been rewatching it.
It's a good show.
Oh, I was really bored. It was either watch Wednesday or watch that, and I decided to watch that.
Or code more pad cards.
No, this is beforehand.
No, before that.
No, today I was watching a 6-hour history of video games.
Oh, Never Knows Best. Yeah.
Yeah, his whole thing got deleted, so he just uploaded the whole thing today.
Damn.
Like a few days ago, whatever.
That man never misses.
What do you get this card?
5.
I gave it a 1. I said 1 like 4 times.
Real fans would give it a 5.
I was thinking about the flavor. My bad.
Yeah, I know you were thinking about that one video I was talking about, right? The history of video games.
Yeah,
very informative.
Very informative.
Yeah. All right, next we got Wenzo Chisato. The character across from this gets pay 2 encore, and then when his attack, if you have a climax and climax here, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is level 1 or higher, send a stock.
All right, Kevin, what's the flavor on this one?
If she hits, she gets stock.
Okay.
I see. Thanks, Kevin.
And because she doesn't like killing, you get pay 2 encore.
God, I'm so glad to have you as my host.
Oh my god, that is such a reach. You're so smart, Kevin.
Look, this is why he's my host. All right.
All right. Well,
I have to deal
decent
with
power line. 1055 vanilla stats. On attack, you have a climax and play. Level 1 or higher, send to stock. We have a really cool card in blue, climax combo that check 2 rearranges after it does its thing, so it's for its attack, so you could actually rearrange and set this up. If you field 2 of that climax combo in this card, you have 5 cards of potential check to try to hit that stock charge. So you get a +2 and then a +1 stock on that turn, which I think potentially is actually pretty good for that to be like your go-to line to play, even though it does unfortunately put you in dual color. But you'll probably run enough equal colored. You could probably do it most games. But still, it's just a way to generally like set up stock or like coin flip for extra stock, even if you don't have a way to set it up. I think these are pretty good. I think enough people have played with the Mel at this point, with Hololive being out for that long. This one is even like less like upkeep than the Mel, because you don't have to kick off an act for it to work. You just have to slam a climax, which you're probably doing anyway in your first level 1 turn. So I think it's like weirdly less of a like hard thing to do to kick it. And the fact that it's also 55 power like just a totally reasonable vanilla card. So I'm gonna give this one. Do I give this a 4? I'll give it a 4. I believe in this. I think this will find its way into a lot of decks.
I mean,
It's like
this card got
as just a
instant
way to
energy.
stock charge. As just like a way to stock charge. I'll give it the 4.
I love stock charge. Alright, next we got 2-1 Chisato. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1 card. If you do, choose 1 character in your wing room at the hand. And a climax combo, during your climax phase, when a door 6 is placed in your climax area, you can sack this. If you do, choose up to 1/3/2 Chisato in your hand, place on stage in this card's former slot. And this 2-1 has 2 souls. For whatever reason, it's a 2-soul beater. On a 2-1.
It's cool. Okay, well this card's shit. That's why. But
Yeah, I mean this card will never attack, right?
this card's like 5K. That's why it has 2 souls.
It usually doesn't attack, but when it does,
But when it do,
it'll be swinging for 2.
It always swing for 2. Changes into that. It's like an encoreable. What?
Carmen's evaluating it now.
He's not.
I remember reading this like in the spoiler season. I was like, oh, okay, and then just kind of like skipped over it. What? What?
Huh?
Who?
In your hand. Okay, I'm just trying to see where the zones where everything come from. Sack this, change from hand, so -1. On play, salvage, so you can get it back, so you don't have to sculpt for the card. But it's a -1 to change into this. This card's an 11/5. Hand on core, you could do this at 1 if you standby'd it. Maybe that's the niche.
And you can start stacking cards on top of your deck and trying to.
That just makes it a swing
dimension.
for 1 that's actually 2. Like I try not to think about that. It's like it's just the one
Yeah,
assurance.
this is
Like a
actually just a
stacking a
level of-
card. Anyone who's ever played Mocha, you know that like that shit doesn't matter. Like they cancel, they cancel.
This is actually just a level 2 drop salvage with plus 2 soul.
The fact that the other card is
That's
hand
just
on core, you get this out at 1. If you like hit this card. If things don't go right, you don't have the thing. It still swings for 2. I think it still sucks. It's a 1. It's a 1.
All right, thanks for a deep process.
I went through like
Alright,
I was
thanks.
like all the way down.
I'm glad
It's
you
like,
just
gotta do
wasted
this,
like
you gotta do this,
60
you gotta do
seconds of my
that.
life.
You gotta do this. No, it's still bad.
After
Like,
all my
I want to give it a 2
calculations.
diligence. I love Lycoris, man. I don't want to see
After
bad
all my
cards.
calculations.
You
this
could have
card
given
was
it
garbage.
diligence before this review. I'm just saying.
All right, next.
I'm
What do you
just
mean?
saying.
I've read most of these cards. These are the weird ones that I already wrote off. I was double checking. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, do you want to give this
Okay.
one too?
Yeah, whatever.
this is a standby card.
This is
At least you could stand by this raw, and this is fine.
Lycoris has 8 standbys, Kevin.
This, yeah, it's a
I know.
PR.
It's
Box
standby.
topper.
They do. You're right.
I'd give this one a 2. At least you could stand by this raw, and it would be fine.
this one gets a 2. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
What do you
Okay,
mean?
you
That
can
one's
stand by
better.
Yeah, once you got 2 for 2,
It is.
2 soul. All right, Zozo Chisato, 500 assist, and it's a pay 1 tap cell brainstorm. And for each climax you hit, you spawn a cost 0 character from your waiting room onto stage.
There's a 2/0 in this set. You spawn a 2/0 at 0, and it's an 8/5. Insane. This card.
It's an
this
8.
card-
It's an 8. It's an 8.
Well, it's
Oh, this
8/5
is
with this
500.
assist.
Okay,
Broken.
but what if you had to put in the other lane?
Absolutely insane. Well, then it's only an 8. That card also only has 1 soul. This card sucks. 1.
Smoge.
You're not a believer.
Not a believer.
You're
Nope.
just a hater.
I'm just a
Hater.
hater.
Drinking that haterade.
All right, next we got Zozo Chisato. When your character trigger checks a climax with a door trigger, your opponent mandatory mills 4. And then
Fog.
is a tap south brainstorm for is a check 3 brainstorm basically.
So you have to give this. A 5, right, Carmen?
What?
Your
Why?
Yeah.
This
Four
card's
for-
your whole build around.
Oh yeah. You just build around this, and you mill your opponent forever. And
You give it a 4. For
the random mill 4s for everybody who's like brainstorming out there. It actually doesn't mean anything. It's just completely random. Your opponent could easily mill a climax, as well as they could easily mill
Queen.
No, Carmen, you can't tell them that. You can't tell them the truth.
a bunch of clean cards because you can't control it. It's by trigger check. Even if you like Like you have like really fringe situations where you check a climax on top of your deck, it's a door, and your opponent has 4 cards left in their deck, and there's like 2 climaxes in there. Then like so that's like the one time you like skillfully set this up. Otherwise, it's completely random. But as a check 3 brainstorm, this card is relevant just because of that. Because check 3 brainstorms can be super sick, especially in sets that don't have ways to like rip into cards that they can't grab, like events, climaxes, things like that. Lycoris is actually one of those sets. Again, there's only the Mizuki that picks up climaxes, and there's the check X from the TD. So if you want to have a card like this as a one of, or maybe even play it as your mainline brainstorm, if you're doing something like that, I think that's totally fine. You get the door effect as like a passive trigger. It doesn't do anything, but you know, maybe it randomly fucks up your opponent. I don't know. It's like a 3. It's just a check 3 brainstorm. Random upside.
Next, Zero Chisato. When this card is reversed, if the battle point's level 0 or lower, reverse that character. And you can pay 1, sack this, check 4, add a character or a 2/2 event from among them.
Wow. It's a side check 4. You know.
Also a bomb. Pretty nice. You know, if you need this kind of card, if you're trying to hit a specific refresh situation, which there is a reason to do in this set, maybe this is something you consider that also, you know, functions as a level 0 you can play earlier. So I'm just going to give it a 2 because I think it's fine.
I think you're fine.
2.
Thanks.
Next, we have 1-0 Mizuki. When his card is reversed, if the battle point's level 1 lower, you can reverse that character, and then you can pay 1. Oh no, you can discard 1, send this to the bottom of your deck, and then salvage 1 character. This isn't bad. So
I like this card a lot.
This card is
I didn't
sick.
get to do the pad review, so I like this card more.
Okay. Pad was level 0.
This requires like the right strategy to really like be super incredible, but like it's still really good. The fact that you know that your bottom card is like a clean card can be very strong, depending on like your game state and what you plan to do that turn. No, it's not as strong as something like Pad, but the fact that it's a bomb, I mean, it's like a functional attacker, which is more than like some of these utility cards can say that like they can actually swing and do something if you don't actually need the filter. But the fact that it's, you know, send to bottom deck, ditch a card, gets it off your board. If board slots is an issue, you only have like 1 board slot to play with. You're playing like a board-based strategy. Maybe this is something you want to deal with. But I'm a believer. I think this will find its way into something. Maybe like one of the weird janker dual laner decks when we see that card coming up pretty soon. So I'll give it the 3. I'll be a believer. It's definitely super cool. And I'm a Mizuki stan, so leave it at that.
Alright, here we go.
This one.
Alright, 1-1 Majima. Continuous assist. All characters in front of this gains the following ability. When this is reversed, if you have less stock than your opponent, you may send this to stock.
This card's so sick.
And you can pay 2, rest this, choose 1 character in waving mats at the hand. So that means if your opponent plays like a stocking combo, if they play like Key, if they play like Alice, if they play like Kanta, and you build a bunch of stock and they beat over your board, you just go, thanks for the stock. I'll receive what you received.
I think this card is so sick.
I agree.
I saw this card and I pogged out of my mind. I was like, this is
like
cool.
We've seen this in what? It was like Idolmaster, but it's like this is the most possible relevant.
I think it was like
second effect.
No.
Low Buster had this in like
Fate has this card.
Fate
has it.
Fate has this, but it's completely off trait and in
0 days. But this has the like most possible relevant effect for a card like this, right? Where you can pay 2 salvage, like that's like a significant stock out, and then like possibly get your stock back. And like you said, if you're against a stock charging deck, you just get to go off.
You get to
with
go
this card. Because of like the way it is, I don't think this like ever goes over 1 in like any list unless like you actually have the slots and you're a deck that like really spams stock so much that you think you're always going to be at a stock deficit going into attacks. But like this card, like you're a modern sect, you can easily select for a level 1 like in any deck. Like if you're in the right matchup at the right time or you need this card, you slam this boy down. He has a way to grab cards back to keep you going If you're behind, you're going to be at a stock deficit anyway. So you always get value off this card. It makes every card you slam that dies go compression positive by removing itself from the game and giving you resources. Is this a 5? I don't know. I think it's a little too techy to be a 5.
This is like a 4. This is one of the only lists we've seen on like a
insane.
relevant trait, right?
Yeah.
Wait, the other one has to have this with like a relevant trait. Also, I think this card's effect is like second effect is also just fucking nuts. But
yeah, the fact that it's the best
stock.
Effect for a card like this to have.
Yeah,
right? You're getting free stock, and then you're getting a free selective effect out of it. Like it's so
like if you are playing against Alice and like you can just fucking spam.
Well, dude, you know you can get this against so many people. Your opponent wants to be more conservative than you in a game. Oh man, I guess I just get free stock against you because you're like a.
It means you are at minimum always at stock parity, which is so strong, especially when your finisher, like we talked about, for as efficient as it is, it's still mainly stock gated. So the fact that you like get away to like randomly get into more stock for that is awesome when you're behind.
I mean, it also lets you carry your combos through refresh, which I think is like,
it does.
Really nice too.
All right.
Yeah, this card is good. If you don't need both of your back row, which I mean, I don't think most like a record decks actually need more than their brainstorm in the back row.
No, I think it's just brainstorm. It's just brainstorm, and then you have a flex slot, whether you're playing like the Mizuki package or this, or like you just play both. This is a card. It's like an easy one to throw in your deck. It has a soul trigger. It has a decent enough effect. Like even if you're playing standby, throw it out. You know when you need this card, you just go get it, and you just like immediately are on stock parity with your opponent when they're ahead. It's insane. Big fan.
You're like, yeah, this my card's sick.
All right, sounds good. Next we have 1/1 Chisato. If you're the standby 6 in your climax area, discard any area's standby trigger, and continue to 3 more other characters that gets plus 3k power, so 7/5, and it's hand on core. So this is your 12 standby card.
I love Draken.
This card will mostly be used as an enabler of shuffle back strategies rather than a board card in and of itself. Unlike something like Nino, this has no other combo tied to it at all. So this is all you get. Similar to Draken, like Jason said. But yeah, as an enabler of those shuffle back strategies, I don't want to like spoiler too much because like we're gonna get there, but I talked about it a little bit when we were talking about the yellow stuff in terms of a way to cheat out cards, but you can like very reasonably with the tools in this set mill down, shuffle this back, play the standby, and like crap out 2 like really expensive finishers to like shave 4 stock off your next turn. The main like sort of like the deck they want you to build with like the Takina and the Chisato at the top end with the door is not the deck that this would go in, but this would go in those more fringe strategies. Because of that, I'm going to give it a 3 just because it has that shuffle back utility. Which we'll see in a couple cards. I believe it's an uncommon or a common, but just because that exists, I'm going to give it a 3 because it enables really cool other things.
All right, next we got 2/1 Chisato is a memory kick counter, 3k memory kick counter. It's a nice card too.
So cute.
Yep. It's so cute. Does it have a foil?
It does.
I believe so.
But I think it changes. She's not like there's not this card. No. It changes.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
All right, what do you give this?
Yep.
Just a simple 2, as usual.
Yeah, it's just a memory kick counter. Whatever you guys give those 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah, if you need it in melee, it's good to have. All right, we got.
Oh man, what if you really just like memory kick counter?
Okay. Next, we got 2/1 Mizuki. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, discard 1. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 climax in the waiting room, shuffle all other cards from the waiting room into their deck, so often known as a Fumio, and then it's also a level 2 bomb.
Really
this is probably
sick
the most
extra
useful
line of text for 10 days before Alice gets banned, but it is useful, yeah. The fact that there's something else on this card, I remember like, what is it? The Danmachi one where it's like it's just a completely fucking
it's a blinker.
Text.
It's like, oh cool.
It's just like, oh fine, like sure. At least this card does something if you happen to draw it. It like affects the board in some way if you're forced to play it down. But it is a Fumio, and you do have like, unfortunately, fake stock swap. You don't get to like shuffle back clean cards, which kind of sucks. But you know, as a Fumio, it's fine. It's like a 3, better than average. because it has that functional, extra line of text. I'm not even giving this any music bucks. It's just a 3.
0-0 Chisato. All your other 1-0 Chisato all your other 1-0 Takina gets plus 1k, and then you can pay 1, rest a standing card. When your other character is sent from stage to clock, you can pay cost if you do, heal 1. So so there are cards that sends itself to from stage to clock. We already saw one of them. That was like the bomb that can send itself to clock and top check on reverse. And there'll be more cards.
If you have someone at your locals that plays only green, like they love bar, like all they do is slam bar, you should play this card for 1 locals and just hope you get paired into them. Because holy shit, is it funny. This kicks off clock bombs at any level. You can start healing at 0. This kicks off clock anti-change. This kicks off your admin in this set that sends itself to clock. Or the level 0 Takina that sends herself to clock from yellow. You can just start healing. It's really funny. And if you ever hit anyone with it, I want you to tweet at me about it and tell me about it, because that's the first thing I thought. It's that is so funny. This is Grief, your favorite green player. Card.
Not even green player. Even against someone like Quince. Quince plays their clock kick cards.
Yeah, their little clocking bomb. It's unfortunate it does nothing else unless you play this other combo, but it is very funny. I will give it a 2 for being very funny. But in reality, it is a 1. But it is a 2 because it is very funny.
If you play the level 1 combo, it's pretty good too. Not bad. Makes level 1
this
combo
card is
6-5.
hilarious.
All right, next we got 0-0 Shinji. He is from the Allen Institute. If you have another 0-0 Mika, it's pictured below. All your other characters which you saw in the name getting the following ability. You can they basically, when a card has started the encore step, if you have no other rested character, if it's in your front row, you may pay costs by paying 1 if you do rest this. So it's a Haruna Encore to all your Chisato characters, and you can tap this to give a character 2k power on an act.
I think this card's really cool. It's really cool if you just play like mainly Chisato stuff, which I think this set is enabled fairly.
Yeah, you can easily do it. I was trying to cook with this in the dual laners, because there's not there's one pretty decent thing to pair it with, but it needs a reverse. So I was thinking, maybe something like this could be better, because you give your dual laner Haruna Encore and you generate extra stock, and then the other part of it is an Amagi, so you have a climax agnostic way to take advantage of the extra stock from your dual laners. I did eventually scrap it after 10-15 minutes of trying to brew around and make it work. I didn't give it too much thought because I was just trying to get my first couple smoke test builds out there for when I get my playset, sleeve it up and get going. But I think there's something there, because the dual laner is a Chisato. You can probably get something to work with this, especially because you can tap this down with the other one. The other one doesn't need to be, the Mika doesn't need to be standing or anything like that, or it doesn't need to be rested down for anything. So you can make one of them 9-5, 10-5 with a global soul climax, and get that extra stock, and then immediately get it back with the dual laner. So there's something there, but I don't think it's that amazing. It's probably just a 2. For this whole package, this and the Mika. When we get to the Mika, we could probably skip it. It's just an Amagi that gives global 5. But they're probably both 2s. If you can find a way to use it, I'm very interested, because I think there's something there. If there is something, it's probably with the dual laners.
All right. Next, you have the 0-0 Chisato. If you have the Shinji and the Mika picture below, this gets 2k, so it's 3k with him, and then 1 gives him 3, makes it basically this is a 3-5 with a Haruna Encore basically. And when it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1 character to search one of the 2 characters.
Wow.
The board for you.
It helps you do it.
Yeah, if you're trying to play this, you probably play at least 2 of this, because it's a board card to put this together. Anyone who's played something like 8 Wind Alice that needs to have its back row online as quickly as possible to function knows that a card like this would be pretty good in that deck. So because it's super niche and goes with these, I'll give it a 2, same as the rest of them.
Imagine this card existed for A1 Alice. That'd be so good for him.
Yeah, just deck bond straight to any part that works.
Alright, next we got Zero Chisato. When it's placed in stage hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Lycoris Recoil weapon character or an event, add a hand, discard 1. And then when it's placed in stage from hand, you can shuffle 2 characters from your room into your deck. And if you do, this turn it gets +1 soul.
Hey, it's the enabler card. Pog.
Yeah, it is. That's a really good way to put it because at least this card is a console. Because the shovel bag effect, it doesn't do anything. It's Sword of Lena, this is not. It is not a functional shovel bag effect on its own. But the fact that you do have a way to shuffle back those 1/1s, and you have a lot of cards that mill to get down to the bottom of your deck, this as an enabler is really nice. It at least has a functional early game filter effect, where if you draw this early, you don't have to like sit on it because it's a 0 that you can easily get back. You could slam this, get a filter, get an attack in, and then pick it up later off cigarettes or whatever other combo you're playing, because it's not that hard to grab back. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a 3 because again, like Jason said, it's an enabler.
You know, if you have a 1-card deck, and you can basically make this a costless drop salvage for costless drop salvager 66% of the time. 1-card deck, shuffle 2 back, check top, 66% chance you get the card you shuffle back.
I am.
Damn, Kevin, you're so smart.
So much better off because you told me about that play. I cannot believe it, Kevin. You are a genius.
Thank you. All right.
I mean that so sincerely.
That's
my most sincere face right now.
We give this a 2. We'll go next.
Yeah, just give it a 2. I already talked about it. It's an Amagi.
Dual
Lane. Here's the other part.
Here we go. 1-0 Chisato.
Dual
If
Lane,
you have 1 less
Pog.
other characters in your front row, which means you can only have 2 characters in your front row, including this. This gets 4k power, so 7k. At the start of your attack phase, if this is standing and you have 1 or less other character in your front row, put up to 1 card from the top of your deck into stock. Then look at 1 card from the top of your deck, and then choose 1 Lycoris Recoil weapon character from among them. Show it to opponent at a hand and send the rest to waiting room. So you get +1 stock and +1 hand.
Dual laners are an interesting endeavor. I found.
It's I think everybody forgets how much better the clean stock is than the blind stock. As someone who had actually played GGO gun laners, the other gun lesbian dual laners, let me tell you, the only reason that deck could function is because those cards pumped 2 soul when they went off. This one does give you a card back. This is like a mixture of Chifu and
it's literally the 2 of them together, yeah.
It's like 2 of them together for like 1 less card each. It's just fine when you have both of them down. But the fact that this card blinds, you gotta know or be really lucky for this card to give you those extra turns that TRV gets. Because that's where like that clean stock comes into play, where like TRV has these tools to make sure that they put the dual laners on the board really early, usually on their second turn, by clocking the fuck out of themselves, putting them down, and then immediately starting to generate stock on their second turn. And then that stock is clean. And then they have good tools, if they do trigger, to pay out those, get to their next deck, and actually take advantage of their compression to get extra turns where they cancel. When the stock is blind, you don't get those many opportunities on average to take advantage of those extra turns because there's a chance that stock is dirty. However, the upside is you don't immediately fold the stock swap because your opponent looks at you and says, how many climaxes do you think are in your stock? And you just put your fucking hands up and you say, I don't fucking know. Like, just stock swap me. I fucking dare you. So, who knows? I think there's probably something here. There's always something going on with the dual laners. There's another 2-1 when we get to blue that you can also, like, upgrade one of these with that gives you, like, even more stock. But that's also blind as well. The fact that this stuff is blind, I will begrudgingly give it a 3 because if this ends up being good, someone will come back to this video and say, oh my god, Carmen said this card sucks. I can't believe it.
Kevin will.
I will begrudgingly give this card a 3 because all dual laners have potential if you have a way to like abuse the resources they give you. Yeah.
All dual laners have potential. That's a new one.
Yeah, Andy's pogging somewhere.
I mean, we've seen Tokyo Rangers and we've seen Pixar pop off with dual laners.
See, Kevin. You see that you said they don't fold the you fold the stock swap, but do you fold the mem kick though?
Okay.
I don't want to talk about Memcake right now.
What the fuck's
We'll leave
what
that.
does memory kick have to do with anything?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you know, you know, Kevin.
All right,
You're just not
1-0
in that way.
Chisato. At the start of Encore Step, send this to Wayman with the reveal top player deck. If it's level 2 or higher, add the hand. So it's a free +1. And when it's sent from stage to Wayman, you can discard 1. And then if you do, choose a 2/1 Chisato on your Wayman and add the hand.
It's a card that when it dies may just exchange itself for the next part of the line.
And it has a chance to plus.
Interesting.
It's a
Still don't like it. Still don't like what the end goal is. I think the fact that the end goal is so underwhelming, unless like you're in a very board-based standby strategy. Like, why would you play this in a very board-based standby strategy? It's like a card that like you intend to eventually hit waiting room like very quickly to like give you something else and maybe like refund itself. It's like very not like in line with what the end goal is. If the end goal was like a card that like pushed a bunch of damage and you're just trying to like run clean and like filter and like just get your plus and like kind of get out of there, or like even if it was like a healer, right, or like anything else, like something more relevant for like a standard deck and not like a very board focused card like the 3 Chisato is, I'd be more into it. But like the Reza, it's like a 1. Like this package just changes into the wrong final card. It would be so much more interesting if it changed into something that was like more relevant for a standard deck, but instead it's like a very slow boardy kind of card. Doesn't make any sense. So this is just a 1. Missed potential here with this package.
All right.
Potential.
All that for just the 1. We got 2/1 Chisato. If this card has a marker underneath it, this gets plus 10.5k power. And when it's placed on stage from hand, you can choose the 1/0 token on your wing, place it underneath this card face up as a marker. And this is 12k power basically with it. And the flavor of this is that they wear each other's panties or something like that. Right?
No, it was
Or
they were asking to look at each other's.
Yeah, they're checking at each other's panties.
Because Takina wears boy shorts or whatever, and Sato was like, "Oh my god, like you need to treat yourself and get some nice underwear." And there was a whole like shopping episode about it.
Fancy check.
Fancy check.
What color is your pantsu?
This is like a.
Jesus, check.
It's a. I was thinking about the card. I wasn't even thinking about what Kevin said.
I have black with
this is like a 1. This is like a 1 package. Like maybe the 1/0 because it hits like 7/5 costlessly, and like this is like a 2/1. It's 12k.
12k.
I don't know. I don't know what you could do with this, but I don't think it's very good. I will risk it. I will give it a 1. I do not think this package is very good.
Okay.
Because you probably have to run too many cards to make it work, and they're dead otherwise.
What a bold move!
Can't wait
He's
for
so
it.
brave.
I can't wait for it to become meta. Just like somehow as all the other
just like randomly.
All right, next we got 2/1 Chisato. It's a 2k assist, level 3 or higher characters, and then when it's placed on stage from hand, you have 4 more characters. Choose a character in your wing movement and stock. So the costless 2k assist, 2 level 3s.
Sure is.
Free 2K
it's a free
to
2k
front.
assist, yeah.
I think there are better cards you can play to pump because of like, yes, you're playing like a card that restands that may or may not be susceptible to memory kick depending on like the power lines, because it gets pretty big how it is. I think it's like 14k with 1 Takina. The card gets 14k with 2 Takinas. It gets to 17.
But
if you're
better.
Yeah, like there are other ways that you have to pump power, especially spot power with the other finisher. But if you need this card's a 2/0 effectively. So I think it's fine. I think it's a 2. If you need the tech, you need the tech, and the power's free. So just take it.
2/2
Ooh,
event. If
I
you don't
agree.
have a character with Chisato in his name, this cannot be played from hand. Perform the following effect 4 times. Look at top card of your deck, put on top of your deck or into your waiting room, and you can send this to memory. So you basically, a 2/2 guarantee you'll cancel.
No, you
Guarantee.
don't.
Or
Guarantee, Kevin. I'm
like,
bad. I need at least 4 more cards. This needs to check 8. You know, with the
okay, it's a
Aqua
good
from
chance.
Konosuba, right? I could just ditch my whole hand, man. That's 7 or 6. I could go 6 cards with Aqua, man. This isn't enough.
You can do that with the Hololive card too.
Yeah, I know. You can go 2 more with that, man. This isn't enough. In reality, I think this card's fine. For bad players like me that can't cancel.
Is it fine? This card's pretty expensive.
The fact that
You
it's
have
a 2,
Majima,
it's like
fine.
it's the fact that you don't need full board, you just need a Chisato, which could be fulfilled with like the check 3 brainstorm or something like that, like potentially a card that's parked in back row.
Yeah, bro, you just need
Like
you have
you could play this pretty yeah, because it's a 2/2, you can play this like aggressively at 2 was what I was gonna say, and maybe get your stock back. Because your opponent, you're elongating the game. Your opponent's playing more passively. They're generating stock. You're trying to get back into the game. You play this to try to cancel to get yourself another turn. You go down in stock, and then you just rip it back with Majima, sending your board to stock. Or at least 2 of your lanes, right? So maybe. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it could see play. The fact that, the combo doesn't add it. The pay 1, check 4 can add it.
No.
The combo adds the blue
Oh,
2/2 event. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Only check 4.
only the one of the things adds this or filters for it. It doesn't directly bond to it, but can add it off a check. So,
Yeah,
but I think
check,
it could be
check your
good.
check 3 brainstorm that you're playing for the Chisato name.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for red. I'm using.
All right. Bathroom check.
I'm good. This time. So what are you guys thinking about Lycoris Recoil chat? You think it's cool? I think this set's really cool. This is like the last set I felt in like a while that I was able to look at and be like, dang. It's just getting cool spoilers. It definitely is a set in Weiss Schwarz. Yeah, choice is definitely a trap. I think it's probably Pants door. I feel like it's Pants door, but I could also really respect the 8 door. I think 8 door is also just really safe. It's kind of comfy. Whatever do you think is going to be noteworthy? I'm pretty sure it's playing the door top end stuff is going to be what's going to be stand out about this set.
There's people.
It's either door top end
or the stocks on top end.
It's either door top end or it's going to be the fucking. I don't think it's the Takina that we're going to talk about in a bit, but I think it's either that.
Okay,
it's either this or the
talk
next
about it in
soul.
a bit. That card's a U. And we'll talk about it in a good bit.
We'll talk about it in a bit because we're on the last fucking color.
It's gonna be a good bit. It's gonna be like at least 15 cards in front of it.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna have all the double R's on the rares and that basically all the U's in front of it.
Dude, I'm just trying to wait for Tuesday right now. All right, don't ruin my fun.
Tuesday? I'm waiting for Wednesday, my dude.
I need Lycoris. I need fucking skip and low for Tuesday, dude.
I'm waiting for Uchino Ko Wednesday, dude. After that cliffhanger. Yo, did you see that Yukata triple rare for the door is more expensive than the other one?
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna say something before, but you guys were busy saying
returned.
something. Yukata is like 500 yen more expensive.
Yeah, Yukata.
It's cuter.
Triple rare CX is more expensive than the rest. The 2-1 red.
Oh, the cards are up.
They've been up for a hot
they've
minute
been
now.
Past
Yeah.
Oh.
trigger stack.
TRs.
No. I mean, the card's okay, but it's not a counter to pad. Because pad, by default, already has a crap ton of...
I'll just proxy this standby
stuff,
if it ends up being good.
Yeah, that's not really a counter to pad. It's just like
It's
just
in
like
general,
a thing.
In general, it's a good card, but it's not a counter to pad specifically.
Yeah, because like pad doesn't care. Pad's deck is so saturated with soul triggers, like it doesn't really mind if it refreshes its deck. It's like inconvenient. Like yeah, maybe you make him with like an extra burn 4 or something, which is cool, but like they're just not gonna bother. They're also saving cards because now they're not bothering to shuffle back anything. Which I mean, I guess technically they could still do depending what happens in the turn, but hard to say.
All right, off to blue. First off, we got 0-0 Takina. If you remember this card was referenced before, it was referenced for the 3-2 early play Chisato.
Yeah, the early player.
Yeah,
so
early play.
So this is the card you need to wait for the early play to get 3k. So there's 0-0 Takina. During your turn, if all your characters are Lycoris Recoil or weapon, this gets 2k power, so it's 4k on your turn. And then when your other character is front attack, you can pay 1 sack this and return that character to the hand. So often known as a JC or Shinobu, or JC Shinobu. Fine card.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yep.
fine card.
Super simple, easy for 4K JC. Pretty good. The fact that your runner slammable going first or second, the runner lives, you respond with this and any other card in your deck, tri-field, or going second on your first turn, this runner, any other card is all like just as good. Make sure like level 0 lines like really like smooth brain, which is always nice. That like that's what you're looking for. You get those cards back.
Head empty.
And like you have cards that generate stock. We saw them 1-0 Chisato. We saw the Majima. If we're at a stock deficit, like spending stock in the early game is not an issue. So you will take those pay 1 pluses to the bank. I like it a lot.
Alright, next we got the pants combo. 1-0 Chisato and Takina. When it's placed in stage from hand, if you have another Lycoris Recoil or weapon character, this gets plus 2k power, so 6-5 on play. And 7-5 CX, and then when this attacks, so if you pants CX and you climb CX, and you have 2 more other Lycoris Recoil or weapon character, mill 2, choose up to 1 level extra lower character from your wayman add to hand, and then look at the top 2 cards of your deck, place them back on top of your deck in any order. Execute a number sum of the characters milled by effect. So basically what this lets you do is you get a trigger fix. So you get the effect and then you get a trigger fix. So you get
to pick what you trigger and what you're gonna mill on the next combo.
But you reveal for your 1-0 Chisato, dude. That's the secret.
They power crept my cat.
And if
as long as you have both colors at 1.
And if it's the last attack and you see a CX in the top 2, you can make sure you put a CX bottom so you can cancel on CX.
Yeah, you like pseudo mocha yourself.
You're so smart.
If you triple.
I'm just letting the viewers know if you're not aware.
Yeah, you're giving them the text.
This does like feel really nice with like 2 cigarettes combos and a clean lane. Even better if that lane is the stalker. Because you see a level 1 or higher, you move it down, get your free stock. Go +2 and +1 stock, 4 stock on 1 turn, and 2 pluses. Was always nice in Assault Lily, and sculpted them really well for a similarly, build-up finisher, and this one's even cheaper, so I think it could go pretty far. I'm a big fan of this combo. I like the check, too. It's even good, like Kevin said, when you tri-field and you attack with this last. If you see a climax, you move it down, and you get a free cancel, so... Always nice to be able to manipulate your ordering in a way that is favorable for you. Easy for, not super insanely remarkable, but a definitely super solid combo. Works really well with the 1-0 Chisato.
Alright, next we got the second half of your door finisher. Oh, she did use the different art. I think. Did she?
Yep.
No, I think she's talking to for both.
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
talking
is
Talking
is funny.
Alright,
she's angry.
we got 3-2 Takina. When it's placed in stage from hand, you can heal 1. And climax combo. When a door CX is placed in your climax area, if this is your front row, you can put a 3/2 Chisato from your hand underneath this card face up as a marker. If you do, all your other character this turn gets plus 3k power and vulnerability when this card attacks it. Your opponent mills 1. If that card is level 0 lower, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So that mean, if you want to double Takina 1 Chisato, you need 3 Chisato total because you need to put 2 copies. If you want to, and same way with actually the other way. If you want to double Chisato, 1 Takina.
Yeah, if you want to double Chisato, you need only.
You
double Chisato is so much easier on your hand, but this is easier on your stock. So it's like,
yeah, whichever one you can do, you will do. That is the strength of this package. It's super efficient as long as you recognize which one you can go for. And you don't even have to recognize it beforehand, honestly, because the Chisato salvages, right? You just do the one that you can do. That's the power of the combo.
If you have 8 stock, you go for 1 Takina double Chisato. If you have 6 stock, you go for double Takina.
Well, if you have anything less, you warp your sculpting to accommodate.
Yeah, it's Assault Lily at home, but it's traditional damage. Even though it does interact with your opponent's deck, it's at least not Icy Tail. Can't tell you how many times I pulled off the full board against people, and they like just live from like 3/3.
Also, let's not forget the absolute nut that you'll see when they have 2 climaxes on the top of their deck, and you just like, mill 1, ping 1.
Mill
I'm
1,
the greatest.
Ping 1. Yeah. Because you get to check 2 with your brainstorm. It's really nice. And rearrange them. The fact that you get to screw with it is really nice too. Yeah, I'm just gonna. It's just a 5, just like the other one. I think it's the efficiency, right? It's the efficiency and the fact that you don't have to do a lot to be able to get the maximum potential that you were going to get anyway, right? Where it's just like whatever you can do, you will be able to cobble together on that turn. Which, like, we've seen with even more muted finishers. Like, people like say that's always, like, the feather for Silica, right? Where, like, Silica and the Alice deck, you can put it together on that turn without much thinking. Without much sculpting and foresight into what's going to happen. It can just sort of happen. Triple Silica just happens. Triple Marine just happens. This is, like, a little bit sneakier with it, because only 1 card has the salvage. But I think that, with just a little bit of good play and a little bit of thought, it can be just as like
these cards
this is just happening. Like, yeah.
You're building your Marikas.
Yep.
It does whiff more easily than Assault Lily, but at the same time, you're doing more damage to compensate for the fact that you can whiff because you have swings. So it's fine, I think. It's like you get an extra attack out of it, but you probably whiff more. You get a few less burns. But if any of these burns do hit, Icy Tails are good.
I really like that it gives power as part of its combo. I really like that it gives power because that was always like such a fear with you, like Yuja, or like that I would play the Yuja to get rid of cards, like the 3/2 green Yuja, to get rid of cards so that Yu didn't get memory kicked. But yeah, it's a lot better that this gets so much power. It's like your 14k to start. That's a lot. So
that is a lot.
Just another 5. I'm super excited to get playing with this combo, and I think it's even simpler, right? Because like you can do it in modular both ways. You just try to slam 4/4 of this. There's no like weird thing. It's like, oh, it's like how many of this do I play? How many of this do I play? It makes decks building easier. Just slam 4 of each.
No, double Chisato plus 1 of this is the optimal because that gives you 5 attacks. The Takina will give the Chisatos both the effect to on attack mill, which the Chisato will get to proc twice. So you'll get 4. You get like 5 attacks and 4 potential ping ones for each stock.
If you do the other way, you get 1 + 1 + 2.
The other way you get
attacks and 4 coin flips.
You get 6 coin flips.
You get 6. Yeah, because the Chisato has
6 coin flips and 4 attacks.
Yeah. But
honestly,
it's not too much worse if you can't go for one.
The extra attack is huge in terms.
Well, it's
of
also the sculpting too. I think the sculpting, the selection pressure of needing double Chisato, I think also trumps that as well. Needing 3 Chisatos and 2 Takinas in your hand when you only get to play for one salvage is asking a lot more out of you to do.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, because in this build, all you need is two Chisato. If you go for a double restand, all you need is two
yeah,
Chisato
you only
in
need
hand,
two Chisatos.
and then Chisato.
Two Chisatos and one.
Yeah,
No, you don't
one
know.
Taki.
You just need two Chisatos.
Yeah, well, yeah, two
Because one can
Chisato.
always add the other one back. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, because one will add a Chisato, one will add a Takina, and then you have the
Yeah,
full
if
hand
you have
for
two
it.
Chisatos in hand, you just chain both into the pieces you need,
Yeah.
and you go off.
Mhm.
And you also like, this is something like because you get extra restands, you get extra opportunities to like flex your soul modulation if you get triggers and stuff like that.
True.
Which, you know, people will say doesn't matter or whatever, but like, you know, firsthand experience, we all know soul modulation easily wins games. So and you know, there's a lot of level fucking 2s and 1s hanging around in the late game these days. So even more opportunities
You
to
know, we
give you
say
those
eight
sweet
stock.
exacties.
But with Majima, you can do a
Mhm.
7 stock. 'Cause you can crash Takina. First stock.
No, so you can do it with 7 stock if you're going to attack with Takina first, no matter what. The problem is you always want to leave the 8th stock open because you want to ideally have the ability to resolve Takina first.
Let me can you
to
do,
resolve
can you do
Chisato
a
first.
6 stock if you crash Takina with Majima?
Sure.
Wait, don't you need 2 floating if you
But it's also going to
attack with Chisato first? Because you need 3 stock at end of attack?
Yeah, and you pay 2 4 6.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you need to
2,
go
4,
into attack
6,
with
so
8
you need
stock
yeah.
to be able to
Yeah, I got
resolve a
you.
Chisato with that.
With the
Otherwise,
2
sure. If you're
stock
gonna
floating
crash
beforehand,
if you're gonna crash a Takina, then you can do it with 6. But that defeats the purpose, right? Like the effort's not there. Regardless. 'Cause
yeah, then
the
you're
whole
just
point
coin
is
flipping,
that
yeah.
the whole point is in your brainstorm. If your brainstorm sees anything that isn't like 2 dudes, I do think the math was like, if there's ever 2 clean, regardless of zeros, I'm pretty sure it's best to just attack with a Takina, because swinging for 3 and a 2 clean is like more reasonable than taking a burn one and like a mill one
Yep.
burn one.
Yeah, you have the two whiffs. Like if they're
But-
higher level cards, you always swing.
But
with Takina.
anytime you get a climax, you always want to
The
want to be able to
numbers-
leave Chisato to
like
attack
we can
first.
talk about the numbers in Sims, right? But I feel like this combo, because you get to check top 2, right? Because you get the multiple restands for the optimal combo, because of how there are a lot of lingering 1s and 2s that like continue to show up, stuff like Alice, stuff like whatever being on the board, right? I think that this combo, you get a lot more opportunities to flex your information on that turn to get better numbers and get a better finisher. You will kill people with this more than you kill people with Assault Lily, just because you get that extra information. You actually get to act on it, which is really powerful. So I think we can leave it at that. We can move on.
All right.
We've talked a lot about this, but it is the big part of the set, right? So
This is the package of the
thing.
set, yeah.
So it deserves it.
All right, next we got 00 Takina. She's not a Lycoris Recoil here, but she's a DA weapon. When it's direct attack, this turn it gets +1 soul, so it swings at 3 soul if it direct attacks. And then when this is reversed, if you can send this clock, if you do, search your deck for up to 1/10 Takina Climax combo, place on stage in this card's former slot, rested, and then shuffle your deck afterwards.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's not very good. This is not good at all. It does like immediately like go into your combo for next turn, which is like the idea, right? But like,
Idea is that you either direct with this or you side with it against level 0, and then your opponent kills it, and you can summon it. Summon the 1/0.
yeah,
it's like-
it's just a
it's
1,
cute,
dude.
but,
Like,
yeah.
I'd rather
Yeah.
just play better cards at level 0, man.
You have
It's not
2
good.
really good level 1 combos to be playing that aren't this Takina either.
Yeah,
If
that
this
is also
Takina
the
was the play,
problem.
you probably would play this though, but
Yeah, you'd begrudgingly put this card in your deck if that was the play, but thankfully you got better. That's a 1.
Smoge.
Very.
All right. Some people say she says Sakana or something. I don't know.
Sakana.
She
Sakana.
likes,
It's
fish,
the
huh?
flavor text too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I've seen enough of this. Oh no. Here it comes in chat.
Sakana.
All right, we
Yeah,
got
everybody
0-0
blow up the chat.
talking
Sakana in chat.
When this is placed on stage from hand, if your opponent has one less front row characters, choose one cost 0 lower character in your opponent's front row. If you do, send it to the bottom of your opponent's deck. Or you may
I
send it to the
love
bottom of the deck.
Superstar.
And you can pay one, dish climax, salvage a climax.
It's the Superstar
Play.
Climax Swapper. That card is good.
Yeah.
You won't feel
It's a
bad.
Good
card
climax
you
swap.
get high payoff and low counts. It's really cool.
Even though this is a costed climax swap, a stock costed climax swap, the fact that it's also a submarine is just really good.
Yeah, you play 2 of this, you open it going second, and you're just like, damn, I'm the fucking greatest.
Kevin,
Yeah,
will
it's
I do
like
the pose if I don't know the
Very
slots?
low impactful to run higher counts of this card than you normally
Jason
Will you
would.
do Will you do it,
No,
Kevin?
Jason will do it.
No, he said Kevin.
I'll do the
You know-
Sakana
you know-
post.
He knows
Oh,
I would do
Carl
it. That's
will
not
do
the,
it.
that's not the problem here.
I'll do it.
No,
I'll do
we
the. I'll
need-
do the. I'll do it. I'll do the Sakana post.
We specifically need
all
Kevin
three
to
of
do
us.
it.
All three of us will do it. If you don't.
All do it. All 3 of us.
Would
All
you win
3
1
of
or
us.
2? Probably like 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think 2 is like the
I think
sweet
2 is a
spot.
nice number.
Yeah, it's like
2 gives you like a favorability
I
to
think-
open it.
I think
And
if you're
then-
gonna run one climax swap and you only have 1 slot and color isn't a thing, you probably play the sack one, just because it does have the upside with like the way your level 0 usually gets built in this set so far in my like smoke building, and just like saving you stock for like more expensive top ends. However, if you have the slots to play more, the fact that this is a submarine is just like such a big upside. You just fucking throw it in. So
All right.
I like it. I'll just give it a 3 because like it's still like a utility card, but like it's really good.
I really liked playing this card in Superstar. I played this card in Clan Ad too.
I'm just happy that people who love the scene gets a playable card that you will see.
Yeah, a playable
right.
card
No,
so
when
that
I
it shows
saw
up in
it-
the deck.
When I
Yeah.
saw it, I pogged, and then when I read it, I pogged again because I was like, oh my god, they made it playable.
Wait, but they didn't see her. They didn't have one for Chisato doing
The eel.
thingy.
Yep.
They did not have one for Chisato. It was sad, but we
Smooch.
take what we can. We take what we get. You know,
All
you
right.
get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Next, we got Zozo Chisato talking. What's the flavor text here? Okay.
But that's too much words. That's too small. I'm not looking at it.
All right, continuous. If you have 2 water, Lycoris Recoil, or weapon character, this gets +1 level, +500 power. So it's a 2/5 level 1. And when this card's battle points reverse, choose one of your other Lycoris Recoil or the weapon characters, rest it, and move it to an empty back row slot. So it's a 2/5 clean cut. What do you guys think about that?
I think this card sucks.
I originally read this. I thought this said 1500, and I said, "Oh, it's really cool that they got the capo clean cut."
Yeah.
I don't think it'll see play, but like it's cool that they have it. And now I read it again, and it's +1 level and 500 power. Fuck this, man. Fuck this.
This card.
It's a 1.
It's not the worst card, man. It's like a 2. I can't give a clean cut like as a +0 a 1.
No, there's no
But,
search.
like-
Clean cuts aren't pluses.
Because
though.
you don't have a search Ricky, this card's a 1.
Man, dude, you have that cracked ass JC. Why would you?
Okay, fine.
JC cost stock.
It's
Also, don't call it a JC. Smile. Call it a Shinobu.
Shinobu. Sure, I'm down to call it Shinobu. Yeah, just give it a 2. I can't give a clean cut a 1.
Weak. Alright, 1-0 talking now. When it's reversed, you may discard 1. If you do, mill 4, choose 1 level extra lower Lycoris Recoil or weapon character in your wing room. Out of the hand, X is equal to the sum of the soul triggers milled. So it's the Alicization event. If you guys have been playing,
It's not Alicization. It's Ironcrad.
the Ironcrad event.
Alicization the mask.
Yeah. This is the Ironcrad event. If you've been playing into Sal the past fucking month, on
Like
a
everybody
character.
else.
But it's on reverse.
On a character.
That's the problem. These cards need testing. I think they have the possibility to be strong.
Yeah, the
But-
only issue is this is a mandatory 4.
Yeah, it's like the time. This is mandatory mill 4 on reverse.
It's only mandatory if you pay cost.
I know.
Sure. Yeah, but
like,
it's 0 or 4.
That's just as bad, right? Like, if you're in a deck state where, like, your opponent can, like, not manipulate, but sequence their attacks
They force you to
in
gamble.
such that, like, damn, you have to think for a second. Do I really want to resolve this instead of just firing it off? That feels bad.
I mean, it's the same thing as Majima, right? It's literally the same thing.
Exactly. I need to sleeve up both. I need to test both. They could be good. They could be bad. I don't know. They're both like new quote unquote profiles, I guess. New-ish profiles. They're like similar to things we've had. The fact that this one is like exactly mil 4 means this one is the one that's going to need a little bit more testing to figure out like exactly how good it is. Because I think in the games where like this pops off, right? Where like in the games where your opponent either like doesn't care or missequences their attacks or like doesn't even think about the implications of the effect, and you just get to fire it off exactly how you want. This probably feels incredible for like fixing like a bad game or like fixing like a bad deck state. But like how often are you actually going to get that? Like how often is your opponent literally just going to ignore you? As the more popular the deck gets, the stronger the deck is like perceived, and you're running this card. Like how often are you going to get to do that? There's a lot of what ifs. The card needs sleeved. The card needs tested. I'll just give it a 3 to be safe because I think the potential of it is high. It just needs sleeved and tested.
Okay, the reason
same as the Majima, both of them.
The reason why these are on reverse step on depth is because the 1/1 Majima does not miss timing, or does not deny it. So you
could send this to stock with Majima. Yeah, that is another thing to consider.
And they still get the effect off.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, but that's something that needs tested with both of them, honestly.
All right, next we got the 1/0 Takina. This has been mentioned twice already. There's a card that can spawn this, and there's another card that gives this 1k power. When this attacks, if you have the Pan CX in your climax area and you have 5 or less stock, you can discard a level 0 lower character, which includes climaxes. If you do, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, choose up to 2 Lycoris Recoil or weapon characters from among them, add to the hand, and send the rest to waiting room.
Oh, mash, I sleep. Mash with even more restrictions, I sleep more. Mash with even more specific dish restrictions, I'm dead. 1.
Damn.
I mean, being completely serious, this is like too many restrictions.
But you have so many
combo.
You have so many supports though.
Really poor selection. You already have a like straight up Mogro with upside that swings at the same power line on a like arguably equivalently good trigger in a color like blue and red are like equivalently easy to play. Like it literally doesn't matter. Like this is literally a straight downgrade. Straight up 1. I mean Smoge too. I love Takina, but like card's bad.
Don't worry, you have the other pants combo.
I know.
That has Takina and Chisato. Alright, next we got 2/1 Takina. When a climax is placed in your climax area, choose one of your characters until the end of your opponent's next turn gets plus 4k power. And an act, you can pay 1, discard 1, rest this to check 3, add 1.
This card's sick. It's just one of those cards.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a 2/1 though, but
yeah. If it was the Yang's dad, it would be sick. It would be even better.
I mean, it's like I really like Misogi and Precone. I like that effect a lot, but like, why are you putting it on a fucking extra? I mean, okay, the effect's not shit. It's just weird.
I think because you don't have dig for climax built into your like deck, right? Because like the Chisato salvages, the Takina heals. Your mid game is kind of shitty in these decks, the way at least that I've been looking, like how they've been being built. Your mid game's more of a bridge from like 2 to 3. You're just trying to bide your time. The spot 4k power in those situations is pretty good. The spot 4k power when you're playing a restander is really good and potentially pretty relevant. The fact that this can dig for your climax and filter your hand 2 turns if you play it down at 2 and then carry it into 3 to like potentially look over 2 turns for your finisher climax. I think playing it in that way is pretty strong, and I was in my smoke testing builds playing this over the free 2k assist for both power pump and dig because it just had more use, right? It, like, has 2 uses on 1 card. I think this could be strong, specifically because Lycoris has a weak mid game that's more of a bridge into your level 3, and specifically because their level 3s can trip into their climax, stuff like that, and you might have trouble finding your pieces. Because of that, I'm going to give this a 3. I think it's definitely consideration because of those 2 things. I think your mid game's kind of weak. I think spot 4k power is pretty good at answering stuff, keeping your level 1s relevant if you're looping combo, and can help you find your climax for your finish turn, helps your Chisato not get memory kicked. All good things that this card does all at one time.
Fair enough.
Alright, next we got 3-2 Takina. I forgot this card existed. When it's placed on stage from hand or memory this turn, all your character gets plus 3k power. So she's 12-5, makes it your other character gets plus 3k power. When it's reversed, send this to memory. And while this is in your memory, and start your climax phase, if you have 2 or more of the Chisato Ricky Runner or the Takina card that we have not seen yet in your level zone.
It's an event reason.
Yeah, event reason. You may pay cost by discarding 2 cards. If you do, place this card on an empty slot on your stage. So that means there's no level restriction on this. Besides, I mean, you need to be at least level 2 to have the experience.
Yeah. You need to be level 2.
Or you're playing Disney Standard.
You only play this if you're playing the event reason and you have the slots. There are decks that would want to play that card. Specifically, the decks that want to mill down and abuse the shuffle back with the 1/1, with a lean line of the standby specifically for the shuffle back. I've mostly seen this in early builds for enabling the 3-2 Takina combo, which we're going to see pretty soon. That has a very expensive stock cost, so being able to shave effectively 4 stock off your finishing turn by standbying 2 Takinas to the back row on the turn before can be pretty powerful. And the fact that this is just a stockless way to get into the lane and possibly pump some power, even though that Takina combo is on attack, maybe that's something you want to play into. You have the slots usually in these builds because you're not really doing a lot outside of trying to set yourself up for that really explosive finisher. So the fact that you could just randomly like shit this out of your memory, and then when it's reversed, go back to memory, do it again. People who have played this cards and stuff like Takapo or like, even like, what is it, Gochi Yusa, Dear My Sister, stuff like that, where like these cards that like go to memory early, come out of memory. Like there are ways that like you could finesse these cards, like generate a lot of value. So I don't think it's too bad, but it's still like really niche. You only play it in the decks that you're already playing the level 0. The level 0 is the far more important part of the combo because this card literally doesn't do anything else except for come out and give power and be a body. So because of that, I'm going to give it a 2 because the card literally does nothing else and isn't worth playing into. But it is, like I just saw in chat, it's free memory. If you're playing the event Rize, could be worth.
Alright, next we got 0-0 Takina. When you're at a front row, you're at a character in the front row center slot gets plus 500 power. And when it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1. If you do, search for the level 1 combo that card will give a 1.
XD. Yeah, so you have a search for it, and you have a fucking spawner for
So
it.
I love that they give so much support for this absolutely ass
search
combo.
for it, and you give it a plus 1k. You have a 1k global to it.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how good they make it, dude. MASH is so bad. Have you played MASH? Have you played Nanami? These cards suck. Like I get so depressed playing those cards. Like, and this one's better than that, and I fucking hate it. I can't do it.
I'm not an Nanami hater like Carmen, but I also don't really want to play with the MASH combo.
Bushi Matsui just posted his deck list running this combo.
This one, of course.
Alright, 0-0 Takina. At the start of your climax phase, Choose one of your Liquid Recoil or weapon characters. This turn gets plus 1k power. And when your character trigger checks reveals a pants trigger, you can discard one card. If you do, check the top 2, add one card from among them.
I love generic pants support cards.
Yeah, it's the Prillia pants support.
Obligatory pants support.
I literally cut this card in Prillia. I can't imagine it being that great in any other deck. You have so much other deck speed in this set. Do you really need this? Does the 2-card deck speed really matter? I would argue no. At the start of your climax phase, give 1k every single turn. Could be potentially relevant. If you're playing 8 pants, maybe you tech this to hit some good power lines. So I will give it a 2 because it is a pants filter that can turn your extra pants into extra cards, maybe give you a little bit of deck speed, and give your characters 1k at climax phase. I think if it had a far more worthless effect, like maybe Global 5 or Spot 5, like Remy or something like that, I would definitely be giving it a 1. But the extra 1k spot at climax phase does save it.
Alright, next we've got Zero Takina. We saw it before. It's on play. You can check out the 3 cards at the top of your deck. Choose one event from among them, add the hand, send the rest away from them. And if you added an event to hand, you have to discard one. And when it's placed on stage from hand, if you have 2 or less memory, you can choose a 3/2 Takina we saw earlier to memory. So you can start summoning the 3/2 Takina at level 2. Earliest.
Wow. It's
We gave the other one a 2. I guess we give this one a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, it's
not much more to say, right?
you play this if you're playing one of the mill out strategies, I think, because the way that combo works is you have to hit the bottom of your deck the turn before you know the game is going to end, the turn before your last turn. So if you have the smell that the game is the turn before your last turn, you mill all the way out, you climax switch into the standby, you shuffle back the 1/1 Gisados, you spawn out the Takinas, and you say, okay, I'm ready to try to kill you next turn. So you have to have a lot of on-demand mill, or you die. Yeah, or you die. You either kill them or you die. So I think those are the only decks you play this in. So yeah, it's another 2.
Alright. Next, we have Yuzo Majima. Continuous, you can play climaxes without meeting color requirements. And then when the Panthex is placing a climax area, if you have 2 more Liquid Recoil or weapon characters, choose one of your characters. This turn it gains the following ability. When this card's battle point is reversed, search your deck for up to 1 Liquid Recoil or weapon character, show it to your opponent at the hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. Level 0 combo has been pretty strong lately, but this one requires you to get at least 1 reverse out of your lanes. Dots.
Thank God Alice is banned 10 days after the set comes out. Ooh. Otherwise, you would never even consider this card. I think this is... In this set, I think it's fine. I think you have okay attackers to pair this with. You have a 1/0 Majima that we'll see in a couple cards here. You have, of course, the 1/1 Chisato Stalker.
You have the tree.
Yeah, you have the tree. So
if you need it, you have the Mizuki that's level 1 bomb, and you have a Mizuki that's level 2 bomb.
Yes, you do. So you have cards to pair this with to make sure you get the reverse. Again, but made a lot better because Alice will be banned pretty soon after this comes out. Hopefully.
Man, Carmen, why do you hate Alice so much, bro? Come on.
Alice.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Why I hate Alice?
Alice is a deck that's too popular and too good at what it does that it stops out these on reverse combos level 1, heavily.
You can't even think about doing it. Even one that snipes all in one lane, you can't do because it's too easy for them to triple. But anyway, I don't want to talk about Alice that much. It's a 3. Has a lot of potential.
3?
Yeah. It has a lot of potential. You can pair it with a ton of stuff.
A lot of potential.
Can be very strong. A lot of potential. Card has potential.
Thanks, Andy.
Why did the bot say Alice is fake? Okay. Alright, next we got
Alice
1/0.
Can't hurt me in 2 weeks.
We got 1/0 Takina. When you use this card's backup, you can discard 2. If you do, anti-change your opponent's character to the way room, and then it's a 1k assist. 1k backup.
Wow. Anti-change counter.
Yeah.
It'll be really funny.
Not bottom deck.
To have this when they ban Alice in English and they don't ban Ainz, and you have to have this card to force your opponent to side.
Yeah, Overlord will be good again if they don't hit it.
Yep. So
man, there's a real chance they like don't hit Key or Overlord anymore, huh?
Yep, there is a real chance. There's a real chance those sets run free. We shall see.
We shall see.
But yeah, I mean, niche card is the 2. It's a ditch 2 anti-change counter. Don't know what else to say.
All right.
It is the only anti-change counter in the set, so if you want to play it, you only got a 1. So playing it, you sit across from Lycoris Recoil. If they're going to anti-change you, it's online from 1 onwards, so keep that in mind.
All right, next we got 1-0 Takina. During your opponent's turn, all the other character gets plus 500 power. So, and then it's a pay 1, tap south, 5-card Brainstorm. But it is only hits off of Pants Trigger. But it is a salvage Brainstorm.
Okay, Alice has been around for a long while now. So
This
card's fine.
This side got hit like 6 months after it came out.
yeah, it dodged like the fake ban list.
This side came out end of April, so basically May, started May, and it got hit basically started in January. So yeah, the set got hit like seven months after. And Sal's been out for over 7 months now.
Yeah, Sal came out right before last
September,
Jersey singles.
October, something like that. September,
No,
October.
Came out before it came out right around New York.
I don't
right around New
know
York.
what
Yeah,
Jersey
yeah.
single was.
Right around New York.
Or New York singles.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yep.
It's been
but
over
anyway.
6
A
months.
while.
Just know.
Yes.
It's been out for over 6 months.
Brainstorm 5 cards for Pants only. Pants top ends the trial deck 1. Not that great. You have a level 0 combo. Maybe you play a bunch of off finishers. Play level 1 combo 2. I don't know. It's not like completely dog water, but it's also not great. So it's like a 2.
The only problem is you're forced to play the Pants top end, the TD Pants top end.
Yeah, I think that's like the only Pants top end. Yeah. Other one's stock soul.
You can quote me on this, bro. There's no way. Sal already dodged the spring ban list. They've already dodged 1 ban list, like D-side did. So
yeah, they dodged 1 ban list like 2 or 3 months after it.
The June ban list is supposed to be the big ban list, the bigger ban list, the meta changing one.
Yeah. So
the spring and fall ban lists are supposed to be the quote unquote emergency ban list, where if there's something super problematic, they'll hit something like Superstar. But the winter and summer ban lists are supposed to be the big ones. All right, continuing on. 3-2 Takina. This is the other finisher people talk about quite often. Climax combo. When it attacks, if you have this level 1 or lower stock soak CX in your climax area, you may pay 3, discard 2 Lycoris Recoil or weapon characters. If you do, deal 3 damage to your opponent twice. So you'll burn 3, swing for 3.
Damage.
Is it so bad? And I was talking about this with Paru beforehand earlier today when I was brewing. Like, has the game really progressed so far where I think, damn, 3-3-3 in 1 lane? That sounds really easy to cancel. I don't know if I want to play into that.
No,
like,
I think you're capping.
I think you're capping.
Really? You think I'm capping?
Bro, you barely canceled.
It's a lot of damage.
Bro,
It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of
You
damage.
barely canceled Burn Force from Pad against Jason.
That is true. That is true. I cannot deny the truth.
Yo, why you gotta hit him
So,
like that? It's true.
If you're
though,
gonna play
but-
this, again, this card has no on-play effect. So if you are going to try to resolve this, like we said, playing it with the shuffle back strategy to shave 4 stock off your finishing turn sounds pretty good. Playing with the dual laners, I've seen talked about. I think playing it with the dual laners, if you're trying to kill someone from low level 2 with this, seems like a little bit of a reach, because you're not shuffling back extra cards like Pad I think that's the difference there. And it's also like pretty intensely costed, both stock wise and hand wise. And I don't think the one extra stock you generate from these dual laners, as opposed to something like TRV, which generates 4 extra stock over its 2 attacks, is insane. 3 extra stocks over its over just tri-filling.
2-1 does though.
Yeah, the 2-1 does, but the 2-1 has other problems, I think. I think you're much better off playing into a play where you mill down to the bottom of your deck, switch into a standby, play it on the standby, and shave 4 stock if you had to switch into the climax, effectively 3 stock off your combo the next turn, and you try to take that to the bank. You can double Takina with 2 stock floating into your other turn, right? So what was it? Or no, it's not. It's 4 stock floating. You can double because you pay 3, generate 1, pay attack, generate 1, pay 3, swing for 1. So you have to have 4 floating on your tech double Takina, and if you shuffle back and stand by them, oh yeah, and you have the stock soul.
Those 3 floating.
So you only need you don't need anything. You only need 3 floating to do a triple into your following turn. So I think you'll see something like 4 Majima pants, 2 standby, 2 stock soul, where you see people playing like pretty normal game with generalized like good attackers, like the 1-0 Chisato, the 1-0 Majima, which we're gonna see pretty soon, to just sort of play a game until you get to the turn right before your final turn, where you mill all the way out, shuffle back 2 Chisatos, spawn 2 Takinas to field, and then go for game the next turn.
Problem.
But yeah, hand is definitely something that you're gonna have to find a way to keep up. I think that post Alice ban, Majima combo is a pretty good way to do that. So we'll see, because it is a level 0 combo, and you can spawn extra copies of it pretty easily with a card that we're gonna see pretty soon. So I'm gonna give this a. You know what? It's a fuck ton of damage. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm a believer. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. But it's gonna need a very specific kind of deck to, bring out this card's full ability.
We'll see. We'll see. Burn 3 is quite strong. All right, next we got 0-0 Takina. All your other 1-0 Chisato gets +3 key power, and you can discard a bond to the Chisato. And the Chisato does have a slow trigger.
Vanillas.
The soul trigger for this theory.
1-0 7500s.
They're vanillas, bro.
Ditch bonds. It's a 1.
Yo, they power creep apples, dude.
It's a fucking 1.
Is that what we're calling this? Power
We didn't even
apples?
have the vanilla in our red. It wasn't even covered. It's a 1.
Once you get the second 0-0, it's 10-5s, dude.
Insane.
That's so power crap compared to the good old apple. Alright, next we got 0-0 Kurumi. When it's placed on stage from hand, check the top 2 cards of the deck, place them back on top in any order, and then when it's placed on stage, you can pay 1, discard a Lycoris Recoil or a weapon character. If you do, check 3, add 1 card from among the men. Yeah, that's it. Check 3, add 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a check 3, add 1. If you want to play with it, you want to play with it. It's as simple as that. I don't think there's like any real thought to it, right?
Yeah, if you need a Cosma and you want to check to rearrange, you slot this card in. There's not really any other card in the set that does that. If you're playing like some strategy that involves that TD Chisato that needs to hit a character, look at top. But instead, if you're playing the other finisher on climax placement, you could check the top 2 of your opponent's deck, and you don't really care about your triggers, so not really useful. It is a way to just look at cards. It is a way to just, check cards for climaxes. But I think that 2-1 Chisato for just specifically finding your finisher does that a little bit better, considering it does a lot more for you in that kind of deck. Plays around Again, you not getting memory kicked gives you something better in the mid game. This just kind of checks you into a climax. Whatever. It's like a 2.
Alright, that's a good card. Zero Fuki, when your character direct attacks, choose one of your opponent's front character. This turn gets minus 1k. And act, you can send its clock check 4 out of the character hand. So it's admin,
so this
but
is
character
admin.
instead of the one higher.
Yeah. Kind of huge, kind of in a good color too. You know, if this had been yellow, I think this would have been a lot more underwhelming than being in blue or red. But
this card's not. I think
also random neg power is pretty good on direct attack.
Specifically because your Fuka Zero also has random neg power. You can just randomly pop so much shit.
So you can
two
pop 2 of
cards.
Saikano's AoE drop searches.
I know. Okay, I feel like if you sit down against Lycoris Recoil and they're playing even a remotely tuned deck, and you're playing one of those memory sets, like you're playing Grisaya, you're playing Saikano, even if you're playing Slime and you're playing a heavy lineup of the Shimakai, you're just gun in mouth. You're just ready to quit. That shit is so fucking annoying when you're playing those decks. The random spot -1k power, you just want to kill yourself. But even outside of that,
on Minecraft,
it's on Minecraft. The random really good neg power effect on top of an effect we already know is really good that can add just traded characters. It doesn't have to add 1 or higher. And we're really not looking for an event in general decks. Maybe we're looking for an event in some decks, but still adding characters just better. This card's really good. It's straight 4.
Straight up 4. For real.
Easy 4.
I can always play 2 of this in my deck.
Yeah, this set has a lot of
decks.
That's what I keep telling everybody.
It's easy 2 in basically every deck.
Yeah. I keep telling people like a Reco, and they're all like, "Oh, you need this," and I'm like, "Bro, this set has so much deck speed. You don't need anything."
Yeah, you don't need to worry about deck speed for your combo. You just play whatever.
Yeah,
so during the main phase, you send it to clock and Mill 4.
You also grab anything you want.
Yeah, you grab it's effectively an Azusa, Kotsky, whatever you want to call it.
Reminder, you have a JC to bob that back to hand, so you can attack with that card, bob it back to hand, and use it.
Yeah, you make it a pay 1+.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a plus. Oh yeah, pay 1.
Yeah. If you JC it back, it's a plus.
I mean, JC is a plus. Sure. 1-0 talking now. When if this card has a marker or anything, it's 60 power. We saw this before, and I'll play marker 2/1.
Just skip it. It's a 1.
One of this had a soul trigger. Smooch. What could have been? Alright, 1-0 Majima. If you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, this gets 4k power. And when it's placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, discard 2. If you do, choose 3 or level 0 or lower weapon characters in your waiting room and place them on stage inside slots. It cannot summon cards that are Liquid Recoil that doesn't have weapon in it. So it can't summon cards like what's it called? It can't summon any Kurumi cards. It can't summon any Misu card.
I think that's fine. I think the way that you play this is you summon extra level 0 combos to give this card that will swing in for 8k the ability to plus more. It's just a functional big attacker at 1 that can filter stuff that you have out that's not playable into attackers or more combos to give you more hand on the next turn. So I'm going to give it a 3, same as I gave the Majima combo. It's completely dependent on if the Majima combo is playable. So if you end up playing the Majima combo, this is definitely a consideration at a 2 or 3 count at least.
So 3?
Yeah, it's a 3.
Nice. I was talking to people in chat. I was talking about how this profile exists in Konosuba for an FPK deck. Alright.
How much of the cards do they ban? Can we use Majima for it instead now?
No, they banned Iru, the card that worked, that made it work.
Oh, right. Iru wasn't the problem card. It was the fucking dual hand guy.
Yeah, Iru summoning dual hand was the 2-card combo that was a problem. Alright, 1-0 talking now. When it's placed on stage from hand, play rock paper scissors with your opponent once, and if you win, this turn just gets plus 9k power. What's the flavor on this? So there's a scene in Lycoris Recoil
the scene is so good.
where she kept losing rock paper scissors against Chisato, but at the end of the episode, she finally wins. She makes the best noise ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
The squeal. The fucking squeal
It's
is
because
so
like
good.
Chisato has like superpowers and can fucking
Yeah,
like
she-
recognize what Takina's gonna throw
Yeah,
before she
she
throws
sees
it.
her muscles flexing, so she knows. So she
Yeah,
just
like insane anime bullshit.
Made,
as we
made her
call
do
it.
it on one.
However,
no Janken, just
You
John.
know, this game, look like, dude, rock paper scissors. I don't know about y'all. I'm a fucking rock man. It's like really rough out here for the rock mans. Everybody be throwing paper.
Coins.
Wait, nobody
Like,
plays paper. Paper requires the most effort. To
no,
sell.
Nobody
dude,
plays
the
paper.
The
Nobody
paper
plays
matchup,
paper,
the
dude.
paper matchup is
Dude,
goddamn
everyone,
impossible.
dude, paper is literally the.
I've been trying to
it-
pick up a scissors secondary just for the paper matchup, and I just can't do it.
Dude,
Like,
paper is the
I
most
just can't.
expensive.
I
It
can't.
requires
It's like,
it requires five
I
finger
just
movements,
can't.
dude.
dude, it's the tech, dude. It's like the technical skill to throw scissors. I just can't
but
do it like for a whole day.
You're
Look, dude, you're
high-rolling
talking about a
paper,
tournament.
bro.
Help me.
A tournament is like 9 rounds, dude. You're telling me you're gonna have the tech skill to like continually throw scissors over like
Yeah,
9
bro.
rounds of a
Scissors
tournament?
literally easy.
Like, come on, dude.
Okay,
I
it's
just
not
can't.
easy as
Dude, the
rock,
paper
dude.
mains, they don't have to do anything, dude. They just throw paper. They just
Bro,
throw
but
paper.
that's
nothing.
5
Their
fingers.
hand,
You have to
their
move-
hand
you
is
have to
open. They
open
just
up the
throw it
hand,
like
bro.
that, man. It's insane.
Next card.
It's absolutely
Next
insane.
card. I'm
No,
This
no,
card's
no,
a 1.
paper.
This card's a 1.
But
Nobody
Please.
likes the rock main bit, dude.
Oh, it's
I
funny
remember,
for, like,
dude.
5 seconds.
We were doing this bit, like me and my friend John, who's like also a part of the FGC, about like the rock paper scissors main thing, and like they almost like he was just like, "What are you guys talking about?" It's like absolutely no idea. It's so funny when you catch somebody
Yes.
mid conversation with that bit.
Yes. Rock comes out frame 0. It's the fucking GOAT. We love it. Okay.
all right,
Read the
1-1,
Kurumi, Kevin.
1-1 Kurumi. Continues. If you have 2 or less stock, this cannot attack. And when this is placed on stage from hand, if you have 4 more other Lycoris Recoil or weapon characters, choose 1 Lycoris Recoil or weapon character in your wave move, and you may send it to stock. So it's basically a costless 1-1. I mean, costless 7-5
Wow.
that has
Wow,
a
crazy.
decently
Whatever,
enough
dude.
significant downside.
That's so
Yeah,
whatever.
It also has no hand on core.
You have with the only standby in your set, it has a combo that gives it a trigger. Why would you ever play this card? One.
funny.
Next card. Yeah, it's funny. It's got Kurumi on it. That's about it.
I like Kurumi.
Huh?
Yeah, it's me too.
Okay.
Oh damn! What is this meme? That's a strong meme.
2-0
I am also a lover of the Peter Parker glasses meme.
I can't believe Taya just fucking put this on the slide.
All
She
right,
can't
so
do this.
so
First it's the fucking fish,
She's
and
so
now it's
strong.
this.
so technically nothing combos with this. There's no
There's no combo.
direct connection with this card with anything else. But the 0-0 brainstorm that we saw earlier can spawn us out at level 0.
Yeah, Carmen spoiled it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, too, but they didn't give this. They didn't give this set the Saikono card, the Foolish Burial.
True.
Yeah, you don't have a foolish.
All right, what do you rate this vanilla?
This is really funny. It's really funny. We talked about it before. I mean, it's a 2-0 for 1.
If you play into it, it's sick.
It is funny.
All right, 2-1 Takina. If you have 4 more Lycoris Recoil or weapon characters, this gets -1 level in hand. And continues, all your other Lycoris Recoil or weapon character gets +1k. So it's a global 1k that you can summon at 1.
Wow, that's crazy.
Insane.
You can also do that with a standby.
It's just a 1. It's just. It's a 1k pump. If it matters, it matters. Like, you
No,
know,
it's
like
gonna
now
next.
you know the card exists, you know.
2-1 Takina.
You know-
if
if
you
you
have
know, you
one,
know.
one or less other characters in your front row, this gets +4k power, so it's 10k. At the start of your attack phase, if this is standing and you have one or less other character in your front row, blind stock 3.
This can proc from your back row. Yes, you can field 4 of it. 2 of the front row and 2 in your back row. Yes, you can blind start.
No, you
no,
cannot.
you cannot.
No,
The
you
back,
cannot.
The back rows won't be able
It
to
is.
proc.
If you want them in your back row, it has to be a single copy of this and 2 in the back. That is how every dual laner is worded.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
is
'cause
it
it's
one
one
or,
or
Yes,
one or
other-
less?
if you
one
have
or
one or
character.
less other, so it
It's
always
not-
so
it's
all
not-
3 of the copies
It's not.
will check for
two-
themselves in the front row.
It doesn't say 2 or less in the front row. It's just 1 or less other in the front row.
Yeah, so
That's
every
why.
single
Can't
copy.
you have 2 copies of this in the
No,
front row?
because Carmen, every copy of this card is going to check to see if it is in the front row.
Okay,
Because you may have itself and one other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So the one in the back row will be like, you can have one other character beside me in your front row, even though I'm not in your front row.
Yeah, I'll see.
Oh,
This is what
to-
this is what
to-
So you
Pixar
get
does
9
too.
You get 9 blind stock.
Yeah, so Pixar, right? Like the dual laner Pixar deck, they'll literally attack with one dude, just a triple combo.
Yeah, to make stock. Yeah, because they get double stock.
Well, they get stock and hand. They get
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty sick. That's pretty sick though. But yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, you single lane.
I
and then
will.
next
I
turn
will
you
give
double
this
lane.
the 3, the same way that I gave the other dual laner, because dual laners always have potential to do something stupid.
Potential.
But
Love the dual laner potential.
but I hate it. I hate it. I hate dual laners.
Smoke.
Can't hate it that much.
No, not to
Alright.
give it potential. I acknowledge its potential.
2-1.
Yes, see, that means you can't hate it though.
All your other copies of this gets plus 3k power, and this has 2 souls.
I don't know why this. I don't know what the flavor of this card is. I'm gonna be real with the chief.
I don't think there's any.
I
I don't know why she's
I'm sorry.
randomly a
You have
checker of
2, they're
copies of
9.
this
You
Well,
have
stuff.
3, they're 12.
It's kind of like the sister cards from Nijigasaki, where you just get a wall of two souls,
Yeah, it's a thing.
and
They're
you
cards.
you do it like Nijigasaki, where you just play the 8 shuffle back stuff with standby, so you amass this wall
Yep.
level 1.
It's you have better things to be spawning out with that shuffle back play, man. Like, this is a 1. I just don't care.
Smoge, man.
Mood.
It's just a random common with useless text.
It really
Alright.
do be.
2-1 Kurumi. When it attacks, if the level of your character crosses is level 3 or higher, this gets plus 6k power. So it's 13k against level 3s. And then when this attacks, choose one of your other characters. This turn it gets plus X power. X equals the number of your other characters times 500. So it's 13k against level 3s, with while also being a 2k pump with a full board to anyone other lane.
I think this is fine. This is
It's
like
fine.
if we ever return to like a normal meta where you use cards like this
Impossible.
to answer early plays and not like ridiculous level 2s or like cards that can't ever be reversed and make your card not be able to be reversed.
Carmen, that would
Or,
require
like-
banning the entire fucking
Or
game.
yeah, or like literally custom cards that make no sense. Like, sure, if we ever return to a point where like you are just killing early plays and you are pumping another lane to maybe kill another thing, this card is like actually totally fine as an early play killer. So I'll give it a 2 because it's actually totally fine as an early play killer. I could totally see it as that. But will we ever return to that normal time?
No.
Who's to say? Maybe.
They have to get rid of Alice and Kanata Marine at least.
Yeah.
Alright, 1-0 event. If you don't have a Lycoris Recoil or weapon character, you cannot play this from hand. Look at the top 4 cards of the deck, choose 1 card from among them, add to hand, and it's in the rest of the waiting room, and then you can choose 1 card from your level zone and 1 card from your waiting room and swap them. So level swap. So it's a camera plus level swap.
Power creeping camera. We love to see it. Woo!
In the decks that are trying to mill out and do the shuffle back, I've seen this a lot with the event Rize. Because just you have to do it on demand on the turn before your last turn. So having a ton of mill that you can like rip into mill again, can be pretty good. But still, it's just a camera.
Look, dude, playing
I'll give it a
playing
2.
in the no ban list thing with Bunny Girl and playing the vanilla camera all over again. It was an experience.
Yeah. When it's good, it's good. But it's just a camera. It's just a 2.
Just to smooch.
Smooth.
It's a camera with no combo, no way to add it, no nothing other than the Rize.
2-2 event. Choose 1 character with Chisawa name and up to 1 character with Takina name in your waiting room, add them hand, and then choose 1 your Lycoris Recoil or weapon character. This turn it gets plus 3k power. And then reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 0 or lower character, you can stand in stock. So if you do hit, you basically get a +1 for 1 stock and a 3k pump.
Coin flip for Iron Man armor. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Iron Man armor was a kind of a fucked up card though.
It is pretty fucked up card. All things considered, I've seen this pop up as like a 1 or 2 of.
Well, yeah, if you're playing the door, it grabs
playing
it,
the door combo. The fact that you can pick this card up and then when you play it 2, you know, you like search out 2 cards. If you're on your next deck, you like pay 2 in a deck that might be stock charging, rip 2 cards out of your next deck, maybe play it for 1. If not, you get top check information, give a bunch of power in a deck that has like arguably pretty not that great mid game. Could be fine. I'll actually bump this up to a 3 instead of a 2, just because like I think it's worth testing. Just because like your mid game's so kind of whatever, you'd rather just kind of sculpt and bridge into your finisher. And the fact that you might be able to play it for 1, at least giving you top check information, giving you power, even if you whiff, there are ways you can like flex into a good play. So I think it's fine.
Not bad, not bad. And that's it for the main booster pack. Straight into promos. We got like 6 or 7 of these.
Yeah.
There's a crew me. On play, you can pay 2, shuffle your free fresh, basically. Shuffle your cards and your
It's a free fresh.
This card is only cool because of the Majima. You can do like really cool plays to fix yourself.
Oh, where you free fresh and then crash it for the it's pretty cool.
Get your resources back, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend about this today, who's like a returning old player, and he's like, because he was like, oh, does my Lycoris Recoil playset come with PRs or whatever? I'm like, probably not. And he wanted the free fresh, and I'm like, well, you don't really need any of the PRs. He's like, oh, but the free fresh is good. Is that card like power crept out of the game now? And I'm like, no, but like, you know,
I think it's only cool because of the Majima.
Well,
the
dudes that are on play
open
pay
up
2 are just so much harder to play than like counters, right?
I agree.
Even if they're like 1 stock cheaper.
Yeah.
Alright, what'd you get?
But
this?
Majima makes it cool. It's still a 2 though. It's still like a tech card.
Yeah.
Alright, 1/1 crew me. For each Lycoris Recoil or weapon character, this gets plus 500 power, so 7/5. And start Encore Step. If you don't have any characters in your front row that's rested, you can pay 1 if you do rest this. Hard Encore. So 7/5.
Your standby is attached to a 1/1 hand Encore. It's like, who cares? 1.
Maybe you want a 5 or 6 one. Come on.
Maybe.
Zuzo Chisato. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1, clock yourself 1. If you do, search your deck for a level 2 or higher character. Show your opponent at the hand.
This
is
the old Xenon card, dude.
Yeah, Team Battlefield level 2 combo like early plays itself. Besides the fucking assist, the global 1k.
That would be kind of nice.
Best part about this card is the art.
Yeah.
It is a
sick.
plus, so I'll give it a 2. But like, who cares?
I mean, we've seen this. Well, this is in like the original SAO EB, or the second SAO EB, the gun gale one.
All right.
Empty standby, broken.
It's lit.
8 standby, always broken. Japan always playing 8 standby. Insane. Strongest card. Gives
but you know
value.
you're gonna try it.
I know I will, and I hate myself for it. But like, just fucking 5 out of 5. Standby broken. Best card. Set doesn't even have a level 2 play, by the way. There's no level 2 play for standby.
Yeah, there's 2
absolutely none.
Hey,
No, there's a 2/2. There's a 2/2 Chisato and the 2/1 Takina. That's literally it.
2/1 Takina.
They're both bad.
Sounds about right. Sounds like normal.
Next.
Next meme.
1/0 Takina. When it attacks, you can discard 1. If you do, choose one of the other characters that return to hand. And when it's reversed, the battle points cost 0 lore, you can send that character to the bottom of your opponent's deck. So it costs 0
crazy, bro.
It's a cool card, but I don't
fine.
think it's very good. It's like a 2. It's like fine.
Just a 2. Ugh, my bad.
Them's the breaks.
2/1 Takina. It's a level assist, and you can pay 2, rest this, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose up 1 card from among them at the hand, and the rest waiting room. Rather play the 4K pump one.
Oh god, yeah, I'd rather put the 4K.
Yep. Does a similar thing better than this. This has better art though. I wish the other one had this art. I like the with the guitar, the splashes. These are from what is it? Splashes from the show. like when they would go to credits.
Yeah, the ending.
What do you give this?
Yep. It's like a 1. Just
No.
worse than another card.
Zozo Chisato is the July shop PR, and when this plays on stage
God,
hand,
there's so many
choose one of
PRs.
your opponent's characters until the end of your opponent's next turn against the following ability. Continues, this card cannot move locked, and then when it attacks, choose one of your other characters. This turn gets plus X power. Execute a number of your other characters times 500. So Shimikai with a suppression lock thingy, whatever it's called.
Just whatever, dude. It's a Shimakai. It's a 1.
If I want to lock people, I'll play my door combo, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like if locking people is relevant, I'll just play the door
Stun!
combo.
That's what it's called. Stun. Alright, and that's it
Stun.
for Lycoris
Damn.
Recoil.
You were having a real struggle. I didn't even know you were having like a mental struggle with what that word was.
I was. I couldn't remember what it's called.
That's really funny.
Isn't it magazine PR, not shop PR? No, I don't care anymore.
All right, Carmen. So
I
what do you
just
want to
know
rate?
majority of people won't be able to get it.
What, the set overall?
Yeah, so overall.
Same
We always
star
ask for an
rating.
overall.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, 4. I think like a Reco
Whatever
is
else.
strong. I think when it comes to English, it will do something fairly unique, which is like present that sort of top end because English doesn't have a Salt Lily.
Never
I
a
never
Salt
saw a Salt
Lily.
Lily. But I think in English it will be a lot more unique than it is in Japanese. I think in Japanese we've seen a lot of these things before. They're in other sets. It might not feel as unique, but playing it in the English environment, I think you'll get a lot out of it. And I think that I would rather have a set that is unique and have a ton of really cool cards that you can build some stuff for, where metas might change and things might get banned and things might like move in and out of popularity. And having different answers and different ways to build the set that you have, because our set is, our game's evergreen. You can play stuff so long as it's not banned forever. So I'd rather have a set like that than have a set that's like turbo
you want to be
fucking broken.
you want to be a
that gets
Nijigasaki
banned.
player. I got you.
Yeah. Just play it forever. And they all need you players play it till into the ground forever. So, but yeah, I think it's a 4. I don't think it's like disgustingly OP, but I think it's very efficient. And can output like some pretty scary stuff, which is always going to be good. And I think the way that the finisher works, the fact that you get more opportunities to, like we said, flex your like sequencing, your side attacks, your soul modulation, like being able to look at your opponent's top triggers, make informed decisions, play either 2 Takinas, 1 Chisato, 2 Chisatos, 1 Takina, depending on how your game is going. I think there's a lot of opportunities for your decisions to mean a lot. And that's what makes sets fun for me. So I like it.
All right, sounds good. What deck are you most excited to test out?
What card am I most excited for? Probably the 1/1 Majima, dude. That card's nuts. The 1/1 Majima's the 1/1 Majima.
That's what I've been preaching.
It's funny. It's like I want to play in games where I low roll and slam down the Majima and just see how far I can claw myself back. That's what I want to see.
True. All right.
That card's so sick.
With that being said, final shouts to our sponsors once again, Nova TCG, best place in North America to buy Japanese Weiss Schwarz products. Shout out to Weiss Tea Time. Without her, we couldn't do this show, and they provide good information about any Weiss Schwarz content. And then, Carmen, you have any shouts you want to give out?
The usual shout outs to PGH, all my boys who just made top 3 at New Jersey. Super proud of them. Tanner, Brian, and Tyler. They've been fucking killing it. They killed it at New Jersey. Super proud of them. I got a tournament report going up for that tomorrow that you guys can check out. That'll be up at 11 a.m. EST, like we usually put out over on PGH. And then Paru actually just uploaded a thing on our channel today about coding your own custom sets in the simulator. And he wanted to put up a video about that. So that actually went up earlier today. You guys can check that out on our channel. He was really excited about it because he's really passionate about the custom set stuff. So we wanted to show that off. So definitely give that a look.
All right. Sounds good. And with that being said, final shout out to our boy Carmen. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Love you all.
One of the,
was
the
great.
only people that wanted to do Lycoris Recoil,
No,
despite.
he was definitely not one of the only people.
Was he? I
There's
feel like I didn't
quite
see
a
anybody
bit of
else.
people. There's no one because we never allowed them to ask us, unless they.
Oh, did
DM'd
you
us
not?
directly. No.
Oh.
All right.
I didn't know you locked that one. Okay.
I mean,
well.
the moment it got announced, you guys all told me you gotta lock it in for Carmen. I was like, okay, I'll lock it in for Carmen. He'll come on the show. And
didn't
with
say
that
nothing.
being said, next week is or 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from now.
Next week. Wait,
Wait, what's the next week?
No. Oh, no,
2
we
weeks,
have a week
2
off.
weeks.
We have
It's
1 week off.
It's 2 weeks. We have
And then we have a
Chainsaw
double
Man,
feature.
and I don't want to say guarantee we'll do, but we might do not Chainsaw Man, Avatar. I think there's a good chance we might just end up doing Avatar.
There's a probably pretty good chance we're doing it. So.
Because Avatar is a pretty big set that I actually care about, not like 7 Deadly Sins where I just did not care, but I was addicted to MMOs.
Yeah, and we also kind of told my local he could do it. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me drop one link first. So, if you are interested in joining us in one of these shows, we do have a
You're
form.
still looking for people.
Not all sets are confirmed yet. And if you are looking to be on part of the shows, just fill out the form and we might consider you. If you're looking for Uma Musume, though, there's a lot of people who've asked us for Uma Musume.
Yeah.
I don't know why you guys all love Uma Musume so
Horses.
much. You wouldn't. I don't like it at all. But yeah. Don't,
It's not about
don't
you,
be
Kevin.
shocked.
Not everything's about you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Just try it. Just ask for your favorites, and we'll see what happens. We have quite a few people now, so it's pretty nice. People said to actually people care about where last time we posted this. Like
Ayakashi Triangle though, or Alice Gear Aegis. Yo.
we have a lot of people for Alice Gear for Ayakashi Triangle. Don't bother asking
Really?
about that one.
Okay, if you
Yes.
like
Wait,
Alice
why,
Gear
really?
Aegis.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yo, okay,
Yes.
but there's literally no one who wants to do Alice Gear Aegis. Not even
We have
Dean, dude.
nobody for Alice
I
Gear Aegis.
fucking told Dean to watch the most garbage.
Yeah, he
anime.
tried. He tried to get Dean.
It's like
He
trying to
didn't
get Dean to do it.
Because I know
Just
Dean
trying
would
to-
be the
just
only
trying to
one
bait
Okay,
who would
to be
watch
fair-
that
Does it have a
garbage.
dub? He'll watch it if it has a dub.
To be fair, I think expecting
Oh,
Dean to
man.
watch the shitty fucking show, I think was pretty reasonable, to be honest.
I mean, he
And then he
Dean
DM'd me.
watches a lot of
He
garbage.
DM'd me the day after. It's like, this show is unwatchable.
Yeah.
Oh god, isn't it like a Bushiroad like tie-in, like a
Yeah,
Who's just
Alice,
It's
It's
Alice-
like a
Alice
henology
Gear
or
Aegis,
like
like a
yeah.
henology? Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, the henology.
Yeah, it's fucking what is it? Fucking Wacky Racers Henology Edition.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bad. I watched episode 0. And I just sat there. It's like, I'm not watching anymore. I tried.
Henology was at least cute.
I watched Assault Lily, and that was watchable. Alice Gear Aegis. is
Assault
not
Lily
watchable.
was watchable.
Alice
Yes.
Gear Aegis is not watchable.
No.
Dean's right. Alright, with that being said, come check us out in 2 weeks. Me and UA will be playing in Vancouver tonight. I mean, this weekend. So if you are going to Vancouver,
Oh, will you? Pog.
yeah. If you are going to
luck.
Vancouver, you can catch me and UA there.
Good luck
I'll
to
be
y'all
right
both.
there.
And I don't know if you guys are going. Is there like a New York one later this year?
Nope, we're done.
Oh, you guys are done for Springfest.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, we're
And
done.
then
No
you-
more.
you-
Vancouver is the last
I've played it
NA
enough.
one.
All right.
I've played in what,
you
like
guys,
6
you
of
guys
these
will
things?
wait
I'm
for
done,
these
though.
guys at when BCS starts. If you want to
Yeah.
see them. All right. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and maybe this YouTube video will be up tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Remember to upload it tomorrow.
I have no faith in him doing that, but
Nope.
If not tomorrow,
Even
it'll
with
be
the Lost
Saturday.
Ark.
I don't have no
Lost
faith
Ark.
in you doing that. Nice try.
You could literally upload it right now. You could literally cut it and upload it right now, Kevin.
Yeah. Okay.